Oh!
Now that man is in much more trouble tonight.
Pretty clever. I mean, not that he's in trouble, Terry, but flashing the badge. Hey, I'm the law. Give me a freebie.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Did it work?
Bellevue police say he flashed a badge and pretended to be a police officer to get free sex from a prostitute. Now that man is in much more trouble tonight.
Oh, jeez.
Sasadar Vanapali is charged with rape and criminal impersonation for an attack.
I thought they were going to say, John.
John Molina, I thought it was his name.
Yes.
That's what you always say.
That's right, T-Man. Gotta do what I gotta do. It wasn't John?
That's a good candidate, though. Was it a woman? That might be the issue.
Oh, so you're thinking if it was a male prostitute, there's a chance it was John, but otherwise you're not putting your money on it.
Correct.
Got it.
Bellevue police say he flashed a badge and pretended to be a police officer to get free sex from a prostitute.
Wow.
Now that
Good to know there are prostitutes in Bellevue, huh?
Yeah, that is kind of funny.
I thought all the prostitutes were still down on, Aurora, 99, SeaTag, Reddest of Lions.
Eros.com.
Eros.com. I didn't know they were, posted up in Bellevue. Is that what she's talking about?
Yes, that is what she's talking about.
One more time.
Bellevue police say he flashed a badge and pretended to be a police officer to get free sex from a prostitute. Now that man is in much more trouble tonight.
Oh, jeez.
Sasadar Vanapali is charged with rape and criminal...
That's not John's real name, is it?
That'd be great
No.
if it was.
Sastatar Velatali?
No.
Sasadar Vanapali is charged with rape and criminal impersonation for an attack on a woman in Redmond on October 17th.
In Redmond now.
He was charged last week in a similar case in Bellevue and is now behind bars.
Man, prostitutes all over the east side.
There you go.
And this guy just flashed a badge, said, I'm a cop, give me a freebie. That worked on you, huh, Terry?
Did.
Wow.
Great.
Seems like it.
And he's got a big gun.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Trying to downplay it.
So that, helped out a lot, too.
You got duped, Terry. It's okay.
Wow.
No, the only
And he
people who get
fills-
duped are the ladies that are with you.
Oh,
days.
Now it's on me because you.
And he pumps you full of lead every night.
Every night.
yeah. Time for the taser.
And there you go.
So I'm a cop again tonight. Give me a freebie. Wow.
And it's something I enjoy every night.
Oh, okay, take it easy.
We got it.
We understand.
You like
You're happily
your
married women.
Oh, no, whoever's got a badge is in.
Get it. You like him.
I
It's
do.
a happy marriage.
You like
we
him.
understand. Obviously, Terry gets a little salty when they try to make a little joke with her.
A little.
And she gets all defensive. And has to
What would you say a federal agent flashes you a badge?
remind us
Oh,
how...
Vinnie, I'm in.
Hey, I'm just saying it worked before.
Sasadar Vanapali is charged with rape and criminal impersonation for an attack on a woman in Redmond on October 17th.
Yeah.
He was charged last week in a similar case in Bellevue and is now behind bars on $500,000 bail.
Okay.
If convicted, he could face up to 26 years in prison.
Oh, jeez. It's even more than online poker.
See?
26 years in prison?
Gosh.
There you go.
Acting like a cop.
You're complaining about
20,
online.
26 years for impersonating an officer and trying to get a freebie out of a prostitute?
Yep.
I mean, it's bad when you impersonate a police officer, I get it. But if the only harm you're doing is trying to get a freebie out of a hoe, Terry, is that really the worst crime in the world that requires a 26-year sentence? I think the judge will realize a slap on the wrist, maybe a 6-month, a 12-month term is where you need to go at most. But what harm is he really causing the world by trying to dupe a prostitute into a little freebie? Because everyone's low on cash these days.
True.
He's probably waiting for his bill to be called Sastadar Velatali. And until then, he's going to fake it out with the hose that he's a cop, and you hook me up, and I'll hook you up without bringing you in.
Is his bill from the Seattle Uniform Company? Very expensive to buy that cop uniform. Looks
Yes.
just like it, though. Really nailed it.
Well, you can buy it at Champions. Right down on Danny there.
Yeah, they're all out of them.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
No, they're all out of Obama and Joe Sixpack masks. But
Oh, yeah.
you going to any Halloween parties, Terry? You gonna dress it up? Are you gonna do the costume thing this year or no? You got
Not this
nothing
year.
going on?
Got nothing going on.
No parties?
Nope.
No more costumes being worn this time of year than at any point during your role-playing sex life that you got going
No,
on
no.
365 days a year.
No.
I
It's the
see.
short, scary monster once again.
What
do you know?
It isn't so short. Uh-huh. All right, so you're not going to any parties. No
No,
Halloween
no, no.
parties. Man, I'm going to like my third this Friday.
Wow.
But again, is
It's
it
the
an
kids
adult?
one?
Yeah, is it another kid one?
Yeah, it's another kid
Oh.
one.
Well,
that
but
doesn't
see,
count.
yeah.
It counts to me because I wouldn't go to any others. I'm not going to just an adult party. You know, what am I going to get out of that at this point?
I don't know.
I have to obviously go with my wife and see all these hot women dressed in costumes, and you know how costumes work for me.
Right.
It brings out the slut in every woman, and I love it. So why would I want to torture myself like that?
Well,
Go have fun with 2 little boys, and that's what warms the cockles of my heart.
Oh,
All right?
very good.
It's all about warming your cockles.
There you go. I'd like to return home with nice warm cockles.
There you go. All right.
All right. But it's my third party nonetheless. Fine. You call it a non-party, that's your business. That's your
It's a party.
You're right. It's a party. There's going to be bobbing for apples just like at any party.
Wow.
That's really not hygienic.
Okay.
No, it's
That
so
really grosses me out.
I may be a germaphobe,
so
but I ain't that
much
worried
slob
about
all over
about germs.
May as well just lick out of my dog's bowl.
I wouldn't go that
which
far.
is probably cleaner.
Probably cleaner, yes. Because he does lick my other dog's weenus.
Well, that certainly makes it cleaner than the bobbing for apple little bin.
Gosh.
Kirk, you're on the air.
So I get to party with my kids. That's what I have to look forward to now.
Yes, Kirk.
son, shout
Yeah, what's
What,
going
you
on?
saying you want to pack it in right here?
I just can't imagine going to a party with my kids.
Well, I
It's
mean,
like kind of worlds colliding, isn't it a bit?
worlds colliding hell.
Parties and kids. It's like one or the other. You know, we're going to go trick-or-treating or we're going to go to
Well,
a
you
party.
go trick-or-treating.
Okay.
You go trick-or-treating on Halloween night.
Right.
And then you
Wow,
give them all the candy you don't want, and you take all the stuff you do want. That's how it works. It's the big person in the...
Milk duds again, Dad. Yep, take them. Tootsie Rolls, too.
I got your M&Ms
Yeah,
and
yeah.
your Skittles. You take these dummy pops.
Awful.
Kirk, yes, what's on your mind, sir?
I was just calling to let you know I agree with what you said with Christine Gregoire. The only thing she done in her whole 4-year terms was open up the liquor store on Sundays.
And that should not be overlooked. But
Not
That
at
is
all.
Is
true.
that open?
Yes,
Yeah.
there are select ones that are
Really?
open on
Right.
Sundays.
Select ones.
and that's
are.
her
Right up the
doing?
block.
That is
Yeah.
her doing.
Not all
Really?
of them, though.
Not all of them
maybe I
across
didn't
the
give her
board,
enough
but
credit. No.
Not all.
Yeah.
but still, you got somewhere. You
It
can-
is really stupid that they're closed on Sundays. That's like an old school kind of rule. It's
Well,
really
maybe
dumb.
it's the new school is changing that way.
Good.
That I was not aware of. That is not something to be overlooked. But
you will not buy booze on God's day.
that is kind of
Right.
that is kind of stupid. If a store owner wants to open up their liquor
Right.
store, their package store, whatever you want to call it, on a Sunday, they should have a right to do so. And there was a law in place saying they couldn't until the past couple of years
They were closed on Sundays for as long as I can remember.
by law. Mm-hmm. And
Yep.
and even if the store owner wanted to be open as a business person, they couldn't be.
Correct.
Well, that doesn't make much sense.
Not at all. Well, I'm actually an atheist, sir, and I'd like to buy a bottle of booze. Is that okay? I don't believe on God's day.
Well, can't a person who's even religious have a nice drink on a Sunday?
You would think, but I think that's where it started.
Is one drink so sacrilegious? Is 9 drinks so sacrilegious?
That's right.
Is falling down drunk in the gutter so sacrilegious?
Also, a little heroin in the garage. Whatever. Who's judging who here?
I mean, please.
Jesus.
Since when is there a correlation between drugs, booze, and your religion?
That's
Anyway.
right.
All right. Well, hey, I'm not sitting here saying what people out there should be doing. I'm just telling you, people have asked me how I'm going to be voting. I'm not one to sit here and say that's private, that's my business. I told you how I'm going to be voting. I gave you my reasoning. Whether it makes sense to you or not is up to you to figure out if you even care to try to figure it out. And go vote how you want to vote. Now, while I've said that I've determined I will be voting for Obama after all, and I'm not going to stay home and beat off, and while I will be crossing the ticket and voting for Dino Rossi to give the man a chance for 4 years, I also say that I expect on election night to not see the close race that we saw 4 years ago between Dino Rossi and Christine Gregoire. I expect her to win this time around, even though I'm voting for Dino Rossi this time around. I expect her to see by much bigger margins this year, even though I'm not voting for her. And why is that? You want the answer?
Of course.
It's pretty simple. Because more people are going to be voting Democratic, and people are like robots, and they just vote down one line.
Yes.
4 years ago, when John Kerry did win this state, he won by only like 3-4%, and it was close enough to have a close race for governor. But this year, Obama's going to win the state by like 14%. So that makes a much bigger margin of people voting for the Democratic side, and most people will just, like in a robotic fashion, just vote down the line. Obama, Gregoire, whatever the Democrat, I don't know the name of, bang, 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 boom.
Right.
Darcy Burner.
Oh, jeez.
So the Democrats are going to have a field day, which I am one of, as I've said. But I'm not going to be robotic. I don't feel like much was done in the past 4 years by Governor Gregoire when, as I said, I was one of the biggest champions of her cause 4 years ago. So I want to see what Dino Rossi can do.
I agree with everything you said about her, but Dino Rossi,
but-
look at the guy. How can you vote for him? I mean,
I believe in not being judgmental and giving the man a chance.
All right. No,
All
I
right?
see
And
what
there
you're
you go.
Either
saying.
way-
She's a
Okay.
total pile, but anybody
Hey,
but
it is.
him.
Just write yourself in, okay?
Yeah.
Come on.
I swear, if anyone, Tim Eyman, anyone ran, I'd
Ooh,
vote for
no,
him.
not Tim.
Anybody.
Well.
But those two.
So what are you going to do, not vote?
I'm not. I can't with a good conscience vote for either of those hacks. I can't do it.
Well, you don't know how much of a hack. I'm aware of what level of a hack I think Christine Gregoire is at this
Right.
point.
She's
and
proven her
even though she's
hackability.
not the worst hack in the history of the political world,
Okay.
I just don't feel like I want to give her another 4 years.
She wasn't
All right.
caught smoking crack. No.
No. If that was the case, I'd probably vote for her. But
That's true. I probably would too. Like Marion Barry. Okay, she's not the worst ever.
I'm not going to judge a book by its greasy-looking cover,
Oh yeah, you can't even hold on to the book. It
so I will vote for Dino Rossi.
slips out of your hands. So greasy.
And maybe, maybe he is more of a decent guy that people assume that think he's a greasy guy.
I just can't let anybody from Eastern Washington run the state.
Wow.
Can't do it. That's judgmental if you've ever heard it right there.
Well, I'm going to vote for him, and I will realize if by some stroke of miracle's luck, he wins. Not that I'm even even after I vote for him, if Christine Gregoire goes on to win, I'm not going to be upset about it. I'll be like, all right, well, there you go. And that'll be that. I'll be thinking about it for all of 1 minute after I hear the election results.
You're waiting to see which pro sports team leads next.
But if Dino Rossi gets to be governor this time around, we'll probably know within 1 year what kind of governor. And if I'm wrong, I'll come on the air and say I was wrong. And then we'll figure out who to vote for 4 years from now.
Yeah, better not be the same too.
It won't be the same, too, I don't think. Christine Gregoire loses after Obama wins the state by as much as he's going to win. That's the last you're going to hear from her. But I don't think that'll happen.
All right.
All right?
All right.
So my vote will probably be a wasted one, but that's how I'm voting.
All right.
All right?
Gotcha.
There you go. I'll invite you all to join along with me. Anyway,
And by the way, isn't Obama up like six points right now, or is it 7? I think in the latest poll.
nationwide,
Yeah.
but in the state, he's going to win
No,
by
no, but
about
I'm-
14, 15%.
But you're making it like yesterday. You told me he was up by a lot. Like it's just.
Well, the polls change every day.
Yeah.
Last
Oh.
week, he was up by, it depends what poll you look at, by the way. If you look at
Right,
the
there's like
CNN,
3, yeah.
if you look at the CBS News poll, he's up by like 14%. If you look at the Fox News poll, he's up by 1%.
Right.
So, I think
it'll be closer
probably
than you
somewhere
think.
in the middle.
You think he's how many states do you think he wins, Obama?
It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. You're right.
It matters
Down
which
to 3
states he wins.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter about the popular vote. Doesn't matter about
Yeah, we saw that.
about how many states you win. It comes down to which state you win. And if you win Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Florida, you're going to guarantee yourself that you're the next president of the United States. That's all the election comes down to. Those 3 states. Over.
Yeah.
For anywhere else, stay home, play video games.
Yeah, why do they even campaign there?
Why anyone in Washington State thinks they'll make a difference is beyond me in the presidential race. That is a foregone conclusion. They'll win by double digits in this state, which pretty much guarantees that there'll be 4 more years of Governor Gregoire. Fine. Do more, please.
Right.
If one more sports team leaves, we're all going to pretty much jump off a building.
Jeez.
Because the NBA season starts this week, and we're all feeling a big void. No matter whether we're big, small, medium-sized sports fans. It's sad to watch the Oklahoma City Thunder and not remember the day. Oh, wait, it was just a couple of months ago that they were the Sonics.
They were.
That's pathetic. Pathetic! Terry, what else is going on in the world, please?
Well, according to a recent celebrity sex poll, it was done by OKCupid.com.
You fond of a nice celebrity sex poll there, Terry?
Sure, why not, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. Huh?
They asked questions such as a celebrity you would most like to have
Wait,
sex
do you
with.
think I swing, Terry? Huh?
They asked questions like the celebrity you would most like to have sex with.
Celebrity I'd most like to have sex
Uh-huh.
with. Yes.
And would you like to take a stab as to
Oh,
who the
I'd
female?
love to take a stab at the female that was voted in, Terry. A nice hefty stab.
What did the
Oh.
men say?
What do the men say as
Yes.
far as who was the female celebrity they'd most like to have sex with in the Hollywood world today? Mm-hmm. Well, I hope it isn't Miley Cyrus, Terry. Because that carries an online poor kind of
Yes.
little bigger kind of punishment.
Right.
No, I'm thinking that they, the typical Angelina Jolie's came in high, but not number one. The typical, what's her name? Scarlett Johansson came in probably in the top 10, but not number one. He said all this stalling for time to try to figure out who the hell number one is. The person who came in as the number one vote getter amongst the people out there who desire to have sex with someone in the Hollywood world is... Not Hillary Duff, Terry. She used yesterday's news and probably still made the top 20, but... I'm not expecting her to be anywhere close to number one. He said still stalling for time. The number one,
Yes.
the vote getter
I'm waiting.
in the Hollywood world is Megan Fox.
Ding, 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 ding. Give that man a prize.
See, you give me enough time, Terry. You allow me to stall enough moments, and I will get you your answer every damn time.
Who's number 2?
Number 2, man? Can't I just enjoy my moment of victory, nailing number 1 here?
Give me top 10.
Number
in
2
order,
is Kim
you have.
Kardashian.
Bzz.
Oh,
Nope.
now you're going to go off on me for being
You
so
suck.
wrong.
No,
this
I
game.
just...
Jeez.
I said
Well,
give you a prize for Megan Fox.
Maybe Kim Kardashian doesn't qualify as someone truly in Hollywood because she lives there
No, she's
doesn't really
Hollywood.
make her the Hollywood type.
She's got to be top 10.
Is she on the list?
She is.
She is on the list.
Yes.
All right, that makes it so that she does qualify then. Where is she on the list?
5th.
She came in 5th? Mm-hmm. Oh, she's dropping. She's dropping. So
Gravity.
Megan Fox, number 1.
Yes.
Number 2 is someone we should be able to get, or what?
Yes.
I'm not able to figure out the number 2s of the world, Terry.
Oh,
You
All
only
right.
deal with the number one
I
spot.
only give you the top tier winner and champions. All right?
Okay.
I don't deal with the number 2s. That's right. It's been a long time since I've dealt the number 2.
oh, I got something for
Can you
that.
pass the brand buds? Anyway,
Brand buds. Those are awful.
brand buds are may be awful,
Oh.
but much needed in everyone's diet. Anyway,
Brand buds. They even make those.
all right, just for formality's sake, Terry, just to humor everyone, who was number 2 on the list there?
Lindsay Lohan.
Lindsay Lohan, really?
Yeah.
I thought she'd be more of yesterday's news as well. But all right, and as far as the men out there that women would most like to have sex with in the Hollywood
Oh,
world,
yeah.
who's number 1?
Orlando Bloom.
Orlando Bloom. Man, there needs to be a new onslaught of stars coming down the pike anytime soon now.
Yeah.
Because Orlando Bloom, Lindsay Lohan, haven't we, run our course with them?
It does seem like 2004.
I mean, let's say truly they were in our lives as significant others, girlfriends, F-buddies, whatever the case may be.
Right.
We would have tossed them around and spit them out a long time ago. Hang with them for 3 years.
Yeah, but nobody ever gets to hump these people, so,
Because you don't get to hump them, you don't get sick of them like you would if you actually did
Correct.
truthfully get to have sex with them. If you really got to have sex with these people back when they were in their prime moment, you'd be more than sick of them by now.
Yeah, girls would hate his six-pack and his awesome British accent. They would hate him.
Just so unappealing.
Yeah, so
And his little-
get out of here with your cultured way.
A little rugged look.
Do women like the British accent? Because I'll tell you as a guy, Terry, when I hear a woman with a British accent, it's a big turnoff to me.
I'm the opposite.
I know, I'm probably in the... I'm not saying I speak for the
Turn
majority.
off, really?
I find it a turn
All
off.
accents?
Yeah.
Is it-
Like, what
yeah,
about
not
what-
all
that's what I was
accents.
wondering.
Not all accents. I don't like the Southern accent necessarily. I mean, it doesn't rule you out, of course, if you have a British accent, if you have a Southern accent, but it's definitely demerit.
Demerit.
That's right.
What about an Australian accent? Same kind of thing? Out on it?
I'm kind of out on... I guess I am out on a lot of accents.
Yeah.
I like a good, sewer-talking American girl.
Like East Coast accent? Is he out on that?
No, I don't like the East Coast accents anymore either. I like a kind of ditzy West Coast girl.
Oh, yeah, I'm all for that, too.
Yeah.
Like the girls on the hills. Perfect.
Yes, exactly. That you can barely understand what the hell they're saying.
God.
1-866-663 T-Man. We are going to pay someone's bill. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Right after these words.
The T-Man Show.
We got a car toys bill, Terry.
Wow.
That was plucked this morning. $390 in car toys merchandise. And we will pay every last cent of it. Cara Demenbrun.
Dan Butler very excited right now.
Cara Demenbrun.
What is that again?
Cara Demenbrun.
Okay.
D-E-M-O-N. Demon. D-E-M-O-N-B-R-U-N. Demenbrun.
Wow. Can't just get Bob Johnson ever.
Can't get Bob Johnson. No,
Always
there's no
a tough
Bob Johnson
name.
stuff in the world. No. Karen Demenbrun, you have till 8 o'clock to call us up at 1-866-663-T-MAN and claim your money to have this bill paid. We will pay it in full. You don't have to worry about anyone calling you from Car Toys anymore. We will set them straight. You will be a good standing Car Toys card member, whatever the case may be. If you call us back at 1-866-663-T-MAN in between now and 8 o'clock, you'll be a winner in T-Man Pays Your Bills. You know what I'm noticing, Terry?
What's that?
I don't know if you were going to tell me about this. I don't know if it's in your pile somewhere, top, middle, or bottom. But I think it needs to be noted
All right.
that the numbers came out as far as album sales for this past week. You know, albums get released, they drop on Tuesdays, and the numbers get, released pretty much the same day a week later as far as how they did. And
Sure.
the second highest grossing album sales for the week were registered this past week. Lil Wayne holds a lot of records over the most recent days as far as selling over 1 million albums in the very first week, his debut of the Car 3, Terry.
Right.
That was a very big accomplishment. Everyone took note how popular Lil Wayne was when those numbers came out and how he's really taken over the hip-hop and just mainstream music play world. You know what I'm talking? But this, to me, is even a much more amazing feat.
Okay.
Lil Wayne selling over 1 million albums in 1 week is certainly a tremendous accomplishment. This, to me, is a bigger accomplishment.
Okay.
Do you know where I'm going with this?
No,
Do you have any
I don't
idea?
know.
So it's nowhere on your pile. You were not going to
No,
report about this. The fact that
no.
AC/DC selling 800,000 albums in their first week doesn't stand out to you as unbelievable?
Don't really follow them, so.
Well, you're alone then, because 800,000 albums is a huge number in
Yeah.
1 week. Are people just starving for rock or what?
I think that's it, yes.
800,000 albums.
Only available at Walmart, too, which makes it more
Really?
impressive.
Yeah, but that means like it's available everywhere because, maybe you don't realize when you're tucked away in the corner of the country like we are here that Walmart is everything as far as the country is concerned. Walmart is everywhere. Walmart is just being available in Walmart means basically Walmart, the album is available everywhere.
Right, a lot of people call that the mall.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
The Super Walmart.
So it sounds like, okay, it's just one store, but they're everywhere and everyone that AC/DC is looking for shops there.
Correct.
So they're not depriving anyone. Oh, only available at Walmart? Well, I guess I can't buy it now.
Yeah, right. We don't know where to find one.
Mm-hmm. So that to me isn't part of the news that makes it a shocking statistic. Just the fact that here's a band that's been around since like the late 70s.
Early.
Yep.
Since the early 70s?
74.
Well,
No way.
they pretty much hit the map in 1980 with the Fast Machine, Motor Clean, blah, blah, blah.
Back in Black album. Mm-hmm. Highway to Hell sold a lot, too, though.
Yep.
Okay.
That was before that.
All right. So that was the album
They
before
had
that?
5 albums before Back in Black.
Okay, but the reason I say that Lil Wayne's accomplishment is huge, but not as big as the AC/DC accomplishment, is because Lil Wayne is today. Lil Wayne is now. If Lil Wayne in the year 2032 sells 800,000 albums, I'd be shocked.
He may. That would be pretty impressive, huh?
That would be pretty impressive.
When we're all driving around in tubes.
I'd be the same at the same level of impressed that I am with AC/DC if Lil Wayne in the year 2032 sells 800,000 albums.
It is
That's
shocking.
the kind of
That is
accomplishment
kind
that
of-
AC/DC put down here. And I don't think it's just people in their mid-30s, mid-40s buying this album. I think it's like 16-year-olds wanting to buy an AC/DC album, and I don't understand what they're getting out of it.
I had kids on my team asking me if I have it yet. 14-year-olds. Hey, I heard AC/DC. I go.
Yeah.
They said, how does it sound? I said, well, if you like AC/DC. Oh, I love them.
So
Yeah.
14-year-olds are asking you about AC/DC.
Yes.
My daughter loves it.
Well, when this station starts playing it, we know that
Oh, yeah.
there's some serious merit to that.
There was a kid
Because we played today's hit music.
on the way to a game. I saw a kid with an iPod on. I'm just curious what kids listen to now on their iPods to get ready for games. So I asked him what he listened to. It was AC/DC.
Wow, isn't that crazy?
Thunderstruck from '91. He's got it in his iPod. The same crap I listen to. So I guess kids like it. They're just one of those timeless bands. That
800,000 albums sold
then
in the
impressive.
first week.
Yep.
The second highest album sales on record in basically the past year or two.
Wow.
And that number blew me away. I don't know about you.
Well, yeah.
Lil Wayne's album sales blew everyone away, and rightly so. This number, to me, is more impressive, considering this is a band that's been around since before we were around, or at least us, not you, Tari. Anyway.
this is what happens when you put the Jonas Brothers and Miley Cyrus on the rock section. People get sick of it, man. They're going to lash out.
They're
They need it somewhere.
starving for some real hard
Starving.
rock.
Yep.
Or at least harder rock.
Yeah, harder. I mean, they do what they do. They play 3 chords over and over and give you 10 songs.
You think Kiss is putting on the makeup right now going, we're back?
Yeah, well, hey, Kiss, they make a lot of money and they sell out everywhere, too.
Right. Wasn't their last
No,
tour
but I
just
mean,
a
as
big-
far as a new album now,
Oh, yeah.
in the recording
Yeah,
studio.
probably a lot of bands are looking like, hey, yeah, we should do this.
Quiet Riot.
Well, he's not living anymore.
Oh,
but
just-
Kevin DeBrow passed away.
That was my first concert.
Twisted Sister.
Oh, yeah, they put out a Christmas album last year. It sold a lot. Sold a ton. Twisted Christmas.
All right, well, I wasn't on board with the Twisted Christmas. I am.
Me either.
I am taking note of what I'm reading this morning. If these numbers are right, and AC/DC sold 800,000 albums,
Wow.
I, for one, am impressed.
Yeah.
People
Okay.
are they're starving for it. Starving for some kind of rock music.
You impressed, Vinnie the Pooh? You gonna play it in the clubs or what?
Let me tell you. No.
You not feeling it?
I mean, it's all right. I mean, good for them.
Good for them, but doesn't affect you. Doesn't affect you in your world. Means
Not at
nothing
all.
to you.
That is, means nothing. I mean,
Do you understand what I'm telling you? That this is a bigger accomplishment than Lil Wayne
Yeah.
selling over 1 million albums in
Yeah.
1 week?
I do.
Okay.
That's why I said
Doesn't
good
sound
for
right.
them.
Good for them.
Just you.
Basically, that translates to I could care less.
Yep, pretty much.
Kudos to them.
But music is his life and his industry.
I just said kudos to them. I could have said, yeah, I don't care. Screw them. They
well,
suck.
but the way you say it, like
You're
we
basically
How do you want me to
saying,
say it?
if you read between the lines,
Right.
you're saying, screw them, I could care less, they
no,
suck.
not at all. I play
And
one
I
of the
understand
joints.
that. You
No,
what?
I said I play one of their old school joints.
You do.
Yes.
You play Shook Me All Night Long.
Probably Back in Black, right?
And that too.
All right, Pasty, you want to keep it down in there?
No.
He's very excited about AC/DC.
I'm gonna go see him smoking there, and no one will know.
They're touring right now?
Oh yeah,
That's what really is excited. Old man Jim.
that's right. Oh yeah, he loves it. He was one of their first roadies.
What else is going on in the world, Terry?
Well, according to the New York Post, a wife of one of the network TV bosses apparently threw a pool party recently in L.A.
Yeah.
And she hired Michael Phelps to appear and swim some laps.
That's all he's got to do.
That's
Show
all he's
up,
gotta do.
swim some laps, and collect his $100,000 for his appearance fee.
Right.
It's a good world. It's a good life if you're Michael Phelps right now.
I think so. Just had his little Guitar Hero commercial, too, that he was on.
A couple riffs with AC/DC, whatever he wants right now. The world is at his feet.
Man,
Isn't it embarrassing for him to have to do that or no?
I don't think he really...
I don't think so.
Show up, swim a couple of laps, and be like, yeah, thanks.
I know. He's like a circus. He's like a
This
clown.
chick isn't going to bounce now, is it?
It's a circus act.
But that's kind of how you know you're balling, though. Just Michael Phelps shows up
Well,
at your party and
Yeah, you got to strike while the iron's hot. Because
No
I
doubt.
guarantee you, the way
Sure.
I see him partying hard right now, you could forget him setting any kind of records 4 years from now at the Olympics. He'll compete, but he knows that it ain't going to get any better than right now. So why not collect all the ducats you can while you can, and put them in the bank? And if someone wants you to show up at some kid's bar mitzvah and swim a couple of
Jeez.
laps, and you can collect $100,000, you do it.
10 years from now, he'll be Mark Wahlberg's character on Boogie Nights. sitting in his Corvette.
AJ, doing what? AJ, you're on the 1-866-663-Team. And by the way, Bikini Dave has his first blog out on
Really?
the TManshow.com right now.
Oh, let me go.
Let me tell you, it's a whole lot of nothing. Pasty Dave
Stop it.
printed it out for me. Get Bikini Dave on the line if you can there, Pasty. He's at work. It's too late. He called in earlier. I couldn't get him on. I couldn't squeeze him in there.
jeez.
AJ, you're on the air.
Hey, what's happening, T-Man?
I'll read this blog or a little bit of it.
Oh, yeah, they
a
put a
couple of
little
seconds.
thing on there for his little blog.
Yes, AJ.
I just never called you guys before, and this is the first time.
Well, what
so,
took you so long? What took you so long to jump on board here, AJ?
I tried a couple times, but then it just was a long wait, so it's just, yeah.
All right, well, that's why I'm trying to get some more phones more often. Less wait, no fuss, no muss. It's the new T-Man.
Mm-hmm. What is must?
Awesome.
Exactly.
I don't know.
I don't either.
But I guarantee you, it ain't selling too much. Anyway, AJ, what can I do for you? That's all you want to do is say hi?
Yeah, well, kind of, yeah. That's
all right, well, then you did the deal. Good job.
Wait,
now we can get to another call. It's been waiting too long, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you have something else to say?
Oh.
Yeah, about the rock and roll stuff.
Rock and roll stuff. Here to stay.
Like how, us younger kids are liking the rock and roll and everything. You know what I mean?
All right. Well, I think we figured it out. We came up with our theory. There's just so much wussy rock out there right now and non-real rock-type acts that people are starving for a band that's certainly going to give you what you kind of have been needing if you're kind of in that hardcore rock and roll kind of feel, you know? And AC/DC is that band that came along with their album at the right time right now.
You're not going to get
it gets deeper, though. I think it's deeper.
Deeper. Okay, you tell me where we're just lying in the shallower area, and you're going to go deep and explain it to us.
Well, all of our parents, shoved it down our throats like our whole life. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just kind of.
So it's kind of like Neil Diamond with me, with my dad.
Oh, yeah.
I hear a Neil Diamond song, I can't help but know the words because I grew up with my dad listening to him.
Yeah, basically. I mean, not like to that full extent, but you know what I mean? Like, let's see here. Like, that's why Guitar Hero was such a big hit, because all the kids were like, yeah, my mom used to listen to this, and my dad was rocking to this, like.
There is that element. Guitar Hero and Rock Band has become so popular that it's kind of given the AC/DCs of the world new life.
Yeah, because
not a bad angle.
Yeah, that's true, because everybody looks it up and they want more.
That's a fun couple of numbers to play. And
sure,
that's exposing a new generation to that kind of music.
Right,
they probably never would have ventured into finding out what it sounded like.
You did go deep, AJ. Good job.
Good job.
Yeah,
don't ever call this show again. Oh, I'm just playing, AJ.
I'm going to Lake Havasu right now.
It's nice to know. Thanks a lot for filling us in. Eric, you're on the air. Hello, Eric. Good morning.
Hey, what's going on?
How are you, Eric?
I'm doing all right. Hey, man, I just need some advice, T-Man.
All right, I'm the guy to give it to you. What can I do for you, Eric?
Check this out, man. Basically,
I will check it out.
I'm getting ready to tie that knot, man, and I just need to know, man, if this chick's the one.
You're getting ready to tie the knot, and now it's time to figure out if she's the one.
I'm saying congrats, and he's got doubts.
So do you have I have a wedding date. It's coming up real quick, and I need to know if she's the one, T-Man.
Next week.
Hey, at least he's not too late. I mean, yeah, he's a little late in trying to figure this out, but it ain't too late yet, Terry. He hasn't said I do yet, and even at that point, I mean, what thing that can be tied up can't be untied? Anyway.
But you
Terry's tubes.
Oh, geez.
That is true.
Those can be untied. Anyway.
No, you can't.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So,
we can reroute them.
Yeah.
Find a way around them.
Through the anus.
You are obsessed.
Why are you seeing red flags there, Eric?
Well, the reason why I'm seeing red flags is simply because of this. When I met this lady, we were kicking it, we were getting out, we were doing our thing. The times was hot, and now the times aren't hot, and she's taking up this dance for extra credits for school. And since she's been going to this dance, it's like now we go out, she's not wearing makeup. She doesn't take pride in her appearance. But when she goes to this dance thing, she's showering up, getting on her makeup, looking all good. She's not hot and horny anymore.
Wow.
When she goes to the dance,
Well, welcome to a preview of what marital life is all about. It's a good thing she gave you a little window of insight of what it'll be like after you get married, because women get all done up for everything that involves everything but with their husbands when they're married. They're going out with a group of friends. Oh, they get themselves all made up and this, that, and the other. If they go out with just their husband or just kicking it around the house, what do you expect her to be in full war pain when she's lying around the house?
Yeah, man, because I bring that heat.
Because he's
bringing the heat, so he deserves.
He's not stopping from bringing the heat. He's not giving her anything but the A game when he's lying around the house, Terry. He's looking his best at all times. Why shouldn't she?
And the thing is, now listen to this. She when she goes to dance, she comes back, she's in the mood. So all I'm trying to figure out
and why do you think she's in the mood? Because you've been grinding out all these other guys all night.
That's what I'm talking about, man. So everyone's making fun of me, saying, "Oh, you're the jealous guy." She's saying you're jealous, and
well, listen.
you need to back
Well, isn't
off.
that supposed to be a good thing? Sort of. I mean, men have their porn, right? They watch,
Nope.
or their strip clubs. They go and they come home.
We're not
That's
grinding
their
on the
excuse.
porn stars while we're watching porn, unless
Well,
we're
but it's strip
doing some
club.
things with a flat screen that we shouldn't be doing, Terry.
But it's strip clubs. Guys go to the strip clubs and have the women grind on them, and then they come home. They're all in the mood, right?
Well,
Right,
let's
well,
if we can't lure the stripper back to a hotel, yes,
Well,
we are in the mood when we get home.
But
Yes.
that's what I'm saying. Isn't that kind of a fair comparison?
I get your point. So what you're saying is, if she can't lure one of her dance partners to a Motel 6, then she's coming home all horny, and she should be satisfied and happy and content with that kind of lifestyle, Terry?
I mean, men expect us women to be that way when it comes to them going to strip clubs, right?
So the fact that he's jealous, the fact that he's getting a little annoyed at her little dance lesson situation is a shallow side of him? Is that
yes,
kind of what
and
you're
I also
getting at?
think that
She's
maybe
entitled to her hobbies,
right,
her interests?
absolutely. And maybe he should try and get involved. Maybe that's something that he may want to look into as well.
Yes. How about that as an idea? Why don't you join her in her dance lessons, Eric?
Here's the thing. This is what I'm talking about. This is the frustration. She's 32 years old.
Oh, geez.
So, I mean, man, I mean, that was something that she had to do, that she could have did a long time ago.
Yeah, it's not like she's going to be a dance professional at
Well,
this stage in her life, Terry.
why should
the
it even-
parade has passed her by. Why is she interested in dancing all of a sudden?
Why
Send
should
in
it
the
even
clowns.
matter how old she is?
That's it.
Why
Because-
is it that big of a deal?
Why waste your time trying to learn something that you can do nothing with?
But it's something she's always wanted to
Yeah.
do. Maybe
Wants to
she
read.
couldn't do it when she was younger for whatever reason.
well, she all of a sudden...
But Terry, I'm not knocking her for that, Terry.
Well, you
Basically,
just did. You said she's 32. Why didn't she do that when she was younger? And blah, 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 blah.
Terry,
You sound like her all of a sudden.
Oh, no.
I've offered to do this. I've offered to take dance classes with her. I don't
listen,
have a problem
Eric.
as a dancer.
Well,
At least
okay.
I don't want to take
70%.
dance class with you. The bottom line is that this is giving you a little preview. Most guys may not get this luxury of getting a preview of what marital life will be like before they get married. It's only after they're good night dude that they get this all of a sudden splash of cold water reality that you're getting. Now, if you love this woman, you certainly will be able to live with all this, and you'll enjoy the fact that she lounges around without makeup and she goes to her dance classes and comes back all excited. You'll fall in line with the enjoyment that she's feeling because you'll be a husband that truly loves her. But if in getting this, that tells me all I
Well, but
need
the
to know.
other thing-
If in getting this preview you realize this isn't the life you want to live, well then you better cut and run right now.
But he makes it sound like
What are you gonna do?
she shouldn't have anything outside of
Let me give you some
their
time.
little world. I mean,
Giving him some time to figure out whether he wants to get married now or not. Now that he
Cut and run?
knows, or cut and run.
I mean, and that's just it. You know, I mean, basically what you guys are saying is making sense. But you know, I just don't.
Are you just looking for an excuse, Eric?
Oh, wow.
Are you just
Yeah.
looking for a ripcord to pull to get out of this marriage?
Pull here.
And you're looking to take the dance classes that she chooses to take? What is she supposed to have no interest?
Right.
Is she supposed to have no hobbies? Is her only interest supposed to be Eric the Great? Is that the only thing she's supposed to have in her mind 24/7?
I mean, Eric, do you not have any
Sounds
other
good.
hobbies?
Yeah, no doubt.
Do you have any hobbies?
Yeah.
What do you
Archery,
do?
but he hasn't come all hot and bothered, Terry.
And that's the thing. My
Nobody's into
hobby.
archery anymore. Yeah.
Terry, here's the thing, Terry. My hobbies have a lot to do with her, but at the same time, you know, here I am. I went to one of the rehearsals where she was actually doing the dance.
What style dance are we
The guys
talking
are
about?
jumping on her
Oh.
and doing their thing.
Lambada!
You know, I'm sitting here like a sucker just watching
But that-
it, and it's like, what am I supposed to do about that? I just don't. That just doesn't
He
seem
is
respectful to me.
So this is
You
an
know,
exact-
She's
this is-
constantly doing all
Oh,
this
geez.
talk about my morals. I'm a church girl, but yet, you know, backing that thing up and not representing.
Oh,
like, that's just
she's more than
not-
backing that thing up. So she's claiming she's a church girl, and yet when she goes to her dance class, she's all grindy.
What?
She's all like rubbing.
You
And
asked
the
him what
and
kind,
here's
what
the
style
thing,
of dance, and he
the
didn't
sex has
answer.
decreased. The sex has decreased.
The sex
But
has
yet,
decreased.
When she goes to these things, she's all hot and oochie and achi.
Uchi and
You know what I
Achi.
mean?
How
Oh,
is
women
that?
love when they're Uchi and Achi.
I'm just caught up.
I've been
I'm a
Uchi,
little
but never Uchi
confused.
and
I don't
Achi the same day.
understand.
Uchi and Achi definitely supersedes Itchy. It's something you're striving for in this world, clearly above Itchy.
Okay.
Eric, I think you gave us kind of a little bit of information, but what particular style of dance are we really talking about here? Obviously not ballroom dancing.
No, it's the down and dirty, hip hop, nasty, grind, shake your booty.
So she goes to a club?
No, she's getting. They give dance lessons. They give hip hop dance lessons now.
I know they do. I know.
It's popular as ballroom dancing nowadays.
I understand that, but.
And she's getting all grindy on her male instructors, or is it more instructors or men that are in the class too? Is it a co-ed class or no?
Well, basically, it's a lot of the guys that are just in the dance
Wow,
class.
she's taking co-ed classes and grinding on freaking yokels.
There's about 3 guys in the dance class.
There's 3 guys.
And he's sitting there in a chair, supposed to be enjoying it. She brings him along to see how good she's gotten in her hip-hop talents. When he's
he's jealous and insecure of the 3
he's
guys.
grinding his teeth and making fists, ready to pound a guy who's grinding on his woman.
Well, hold on, wait a minute. Let me ask you a question. It'd be different if I, she just comes home and I don't give her the time of day, but, I have a very high sexual, I crave it, man. And I take my time and I do it.
Some men tend to crave sex, yes.
I don't know, Terry. Maybe you can elaborate a little bit. It's not like I'm not giving her what she desires.
And while the grinding has increased, Terry, the sex drive of this woman has gone down. That is not a good little pattern that is in place here as they lead towards making the way towards the altar, Terry. But he doesn't want to be noticing that the passion and the sex drive that she's had in the past is on the decline, and her interest in grinding on strangers in her class, she can't wait to get to class to grind on whatever stranger may be putting his hands all over her butt today.
Wow. But the thing is, and you sound like a really nice guy, really you do, but it also sounds like you're a little insecure.
Oh, jeez. Well, aren't we all, Terry? And aren't we by human nature insecure? So you've hit on something and maybe he breathes too, Terry.
No, but
and maybe he poops.
No way. But I'm just saying.
We all by nature are wired to be insecure. Now, this man has more of a case than the average man who makes up insecurities for no good reason. This man is noticing red flags that I'm glad he's taking note of before he gets himself in a marital situation that has greater consequences once you realize things have gone askew.
So he believes that her being in a hip hop class with 3 guys and all this is going to lead to her being unfaithful in the future.
No, maybe he has to figure out this is all part of the cold feet process. And as I said, maybe as he's getting closer to his wedding day, looking for a ripcord, as people tend to do, and it's all part of the butterfly process. Maybe when it comes down to it and he gets to figuring this all out, he'll realize, okay, I was just dealing with some nerves, but I have worked this through and I realize that I truly want to marry this woman. Or maybe it's as big an issue as he's claiming it is right now, and it's grounds for a timeout here at least, if not a full-out severing of the relationship. So she can enjoy all the hip-hop classes that she can go out and pursue, Terry. He doesn't want to stand in her way by marrying her from going to enjoy all the hip-hop classes she could take part in, right?
But maybe
I would never want to do that to you, honey.
But maybe, too, him being so vocal about his concerns, and like he said earlier, he said, now she's the one kind of laughing at him, going, oh, you're the jealous type.
You think he's insecure?
I think a little bit, and maybe if he just kind of hides that a little bit more or just kind of lets it go a little bit.
If we feel insecure, should we hide it?
I tried to hide it, Terry, and the bottom line is this. It'd be different if she's just going dancing, but to actually see a guy groping.
So you're telling, and she
at least
she invited you?
Not to have the respect to at least just be like, you know what? That's kind of going, it's different to dance. I understand you get caught in the heat of the moment, but to physically imagine watching your husband physically, not getting a lap dance, but partaking in.
Yeah, if Terry had to ride along in the squad car, she would say it.
Getting your freak on with the clothes.
Sure.
That's just not.
Did she invite you to see this in action, or did you say, hey, I want to come to one of your classes and just be a viewing party of what goes on? Were you invited by her or no?
Well, she told me to come check it out, which was cool.
All right, so she obviously isn't trying to hide it. She just thinks it's part of the art of it all.
Right.
She thinks
but then it's like, I don't want to be at the class because then she's just all I did was say,
Well,
you may want to just tone it down a little bit. She just
well, you say
automatically-
tone it down,
You're
but a
telling-
case can be made that this is all part of the art of the dance. And you can't really do hip-hop in any true style these days without putting your hands all over each other. And if you can't see it that way, you're just not accepting it for its art form. I mean, that's what her argument probably would be.
Right.
I can't be a person taking part in this kind of style of dance without any kind of contact.
Sure.
And it's not any kind of indication of how I feel about my dance partner. It's just part of what you do when you dance this in these classes. But he's sitting there with his, I'm telling
Well,
you,
and I
his
can
teeth
understand,
grinding,
sure.
ready to kill somebody.
Right. And
And,
I
his-
can
and then
understand.
his fiance comes over and goes, "Wasn't that great?" Yeah, if you want me to kill you right now, it's great. All right, Eric, hang on the
No,
line.
I understand that.
I'm up against a hard break here, Terry. Eric is getting close to his wedding day. And obviously, these issues need to be... You're telling him to, like, just dismiss it. You're telling him to ignore it. You're telling him to just pretend it doesn't exist. You're telling him to stifle it away somewhere inside his being and pretend it's not there, Terry. I always say the opposite. I say you must acknowledge all your emotions and your feelings,
Sure.
or else they'll really come roaring out like a volcano. You think he sounds upset and agitated now?
Oh, jeez.
If he were to do it the way you say, Terry, it'd only come roaring out that much more in a violent fashion like a volcano. 1-866-663-T-Man. We'll be back with Eric, the potential volcano, after these words.
The T-Man Show.
Joaquin Phoenix done with acting?
Listen, I want to take this opportunity and just talk a little bit about the fact that this will be my last performance as an actor. I'm not doing films anymore. Are you serious? Yeah.
That's what he told our Jerry Pedicoli. We were a little suspicious because there were cameras following him and he was wearing his own mic. But Joaquin's rep told Extra today Phoenix told her the very same thing. So we're going with a tentative true on this one.
You look shocked, Terry. You look amazed.
Yeah, I like him.
You like Joaquin Phoenix?
I do. I think
He's a weirdish guy, Terry.
He is weird, but he's a good actor.
He's a great actor, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But if you're really going to retire, as you say you are,
Yes.
then why have to have this formality of telling the world, this is going to be my last time? No, don't try to talk me out of it. I know you love me, but that's all you get of me. Why does he have to make this big royalty-type announcement if he really, truly wants to retire in front of all these cameras and the bright lights? Today, I announce my retirement. Why not just go off into the sunset and not tell anyone? And he obviously wants people to be like, oh, say it ain't so, Joaquin. Yeah. Beg him to come back.
Wow.
Why, if you truly want to get out of the limelight, if you truly want to get out of acting, make a big deal about it like he's doing. Yeah, no, I know you're shocked. I know you're shocked, but no, this is my last film. I'm never going to act again. And no, don't cry. I said what I had to say because I felt you had the right to know. And that's that.
Maybe he doesn't want people to speculate, so he just wants to make sure everybody knows.
There wouldn't be any speculation. Every time he got offered a movie, he'd say, no, that's it. If you really want to retire. Nope, not interested. Bing, bang, boom. 20 years later, I think he might have retired. But no, the bright lights, the cameras are rolling. Yeah, it's the last one. I know you're all devastated. That's the way it's got to be.
Begging for attention, isn't it?
It's just like begging for attention.
It's so sad.
But it's
I'm not doing film.
But he's
I'm not doing films
he's
anymore.
never been right. He's a great actor, just a wealth of talent. It's almost immeasurable as far as his roles and the way he's played them. From even as a youngerish boy when he was in To Die For with Nicole Kidman,
Right.
and in Gladiator, terrific. And the movie where he played Johnny Cash was about as good a Johnny Cash as anyone could have been. But he's always been kind of messed up in the head from probably the point where his brother died the way he did, and this just kind of adding to that. But most actors are a dynamic kind of weirdo kind of ish group.
I know they are.
So this is no different. No. And the retirement announcement has been made.
What's he going to do now? Did he say? Music
He's going to feed the ducks and go to the dog track.
Joaquin Phoenix done with acting?
Listen, I want to take this opportunity and just talk a little bit about the fact that this will be my last performance.
He almost sounds so baked right there.
I know he does.
It's like slurring his words.
Listen, I want to take this opportunity and just talk a little bit about
I was
He grew up in a cult, like in a plantation, weird place.
Listen, I want to take this opportunity and just talk a little bit about the fact that this will be my last performance as an actor. I'm not doing films anymore. Are you serious? Yeah.
That's what he told her.
I mean, that's what he's looking for, right?
What if you were the interviewer and you did that to him? It's so great.
I mean, the interviewer even says, "Are you serious?"
Yeah, I know.
Doing films anymore. Are you serious? Yeah.
That's what he told her, Jerry Petticoli. We were a little...
Jerry Petticoli was floored.
Petticoli.
Listen, Petticoli, don't try to talk me out of it.
Okay.
There's nothing you can say.
Actually, I'm going to lunch after this interview, so let's wrap it up here, Joaquin. Gotta get hungry here, Chief.
I'm about 10 minutes late for the freak toes.
Yep.
Okay, so there it is. Maybe it's true. I tend to believe it's not, since he needed to make this big, elaborate announcement while the cameras are rolling. Something tells me he enjoys being in the limelight more than he thinks.
Yeah.
He'll be in a movie he'll take a year off, and then he'll accept a role. He'll be in a movie in about 2 years.
So over under what?
Over under is, will he be on a big screen in a major motion picture inside of the next 2 years? Yes or no? I think he will take a little sabbatical. Probably he's a little burned out. We all get there.
Go to rehab or
Some more than
something.
others,
Because they
yeah.
Probably
always
needs
do
to get
that.
himself a little dried up.
Yeah, but if you're retiring, what do you need to dry up for? The only reason you dry up is to continue working
All right,
successfully.
maybe he was deciding between drying up and working. He chose not working and not drying up.
I look at retirement as a lifelong bender.
Speaking of seeing the light, Eric, the previous caller from
Yes.
the last segment, Terry, he couldn't hold on any longer. He had to get to work. I mean, if he's going to have his relationship implode, he can't have his work life implode at the same time, so he's not on the line anymore. But a lot of callers were intrigued by what he had to say. If you heard in the last segment, Eric's dealing with the dilemma of a wedding quickly approaching, and that wedding is taking on the form of a train bearing down on you, and you can't get yourself off the tracks.
Because you're tied
That's
down.
kind of how he's feeling, Terry, as he sees his fiancée loving to go out to her dance classes. Can't wait to get to the dance studio so that some strange guy could be grinding up on her yet again.
Yeah, she just wants to do a little booty shake. No big deal.
A lot of guys out there, like you said, Terry, a lot of guys would be in the mode of, if they had a serious girlfriend or fiancée or wife, they'd be of the notion of, well, the more she can get out of the house and just, kind of leave me to do my own thing, the better.
Right.
Where are you going? Okay, great. Wonderful. Have a great time. You going to do 3 dance classes a week? Perfect. Can you make it 4? Honey, I'm leaving now for my dance. Sounds good. I'll be here with my hand down my pants when you get back.
Oh, yeah.
Got a new porn site. Got to check out.
A lot of guys would love that. A regular routine where she gets out of the house for an hour and a half. On a timely kind of fashion. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 3 to 4:30, she'll be doing her dance class.
Love it.
It's on.
I do the old sideways fall onto the couch.
Wow. Why can I just totally
I got the
picture
wireless 360 controller in my hand.
And whatever that means, whatever it's on means, whether it means sideways fall onto the couch with a 360 controller, or heading to your favorite porn site, or bringing over your favorite hoe, or whatever that means, it's on, Terry. And a lot of guys would appreciate the regular, scheduled departure from my world. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
But not Eric.
No.
Eric doesn't like knowing. But she's going to a class where freakish, stylish dancing is taking place, and it's bothering him terribly.
Yeah, because she gets all made up just to go to class.
And that's
Not
right.
for him.
There was that aspect. I forgot about that.
She just lounges around.
She gets to her best looking potential. It's reached every time she heads out the door to go to dance class.
Right.
But if he were to take her out to a nice dinner, he's buying at Arby's, Terry. she ain't getting all done up, is she? She doesn't get inspired to look nice for him.
Nope.
But she gets all excited to look nice for her dance instructors, doesn't she? Doesn't she? Answer me! Oh, yeah. Didn't have to. It's a rhetorical question.
Right.
1-866-663-T-Man. Danielle is a dance instructor, and she wants to shed some light on this from what she's been hearing. From your perspective, what do you have to offer here, Danielle? What's your take on this as a professional from the other side of the equation?
Well, he has to understand when someone's going to a dance class, they're learning a routine that she's getting told how to dance, and it's nothing. It's just a routine. And if she's going to the club every night and dancing with some random guys, like apparently how she's doing in the class, it's a little different. Because she's choosing to dance like that with a guy when in a class she's getting told how to do it. And if he's getting jealous about a dance class and if he's not going to mind her going to a club, I think he's just really insecure because he's not understanding that when you're in a class,
it's an art.
They're there for the class.
Now, he's not on the line because, as I said, he had to go to work. But if he was here, maybe he would say something like, well, dance class, club, whatever the case may be, all I can see is that dudes got their hands all over my fiancée, rubbing her front, rubbing her back. I don't care if it's an art form. I don't care if it's in a club with the lights dim or the lights brightly shown in the dance studio that she goes to. Hands are all over my fiancée's apple ass, and I don't like it.
Well, if she's going to a dance class, she's going to be coming out with a great body because she's going to be working out a lot and getting a lot of pheromones. So he should be happy that she's working it out.
Well, you talk about these pheromones. Again, I'm playing the part of him. You talk about these pheromones. You think that would translate to her coming home all excited to splash that love that she's built up all over me. But as I just mentioned, I'm still playing the part of Eric.
Yes.
She has gone down as far as her libido is concerned. Her interest in sex and her lovemaking interests have been on the decline. So how do you explain this with all the pheromone talk you're throwing my way? Oh, dance instructor, you?
Well, maybe she's not feeling him anymore.
Well, that's what he wants to hear, yes.
Yeah, we're about to get married, but I'm not feeling you anymore.
But I am feeling that big package dance instructor.
She's getting so much excitement from the dance class, but maybe he's not exciting her. Maybe they're not doing anything. Like, if she's just sitting around, well, what is he doing? He's just sitting next to her?
But he claims that he has tried to, be involved in her little activity of dancing.
Activity.
Well,
I'll join you in your little activity. Whatever gets
That's how.
I won't.
Whatever gets your juices flowing. Because obviously it ain't me. But it is Pablo, the dance instructor.
His al dente weenus rubbing up against you all day long.
And I'm supposed to just realize this is art. Okay.
Art. That's what you call it.
Well, Danielle, I'm glad you could shed a professional light onto this. I'm sure it was helpful to someone out there. I don't know who he is, but maybe he's out there. 1-866-663-T-MAN. There's a lot of ways to look at this.
Sure.
It's a very interesting topic as far as I'm concerned, Terry, because I'm even kind of on the fence. At times, I kind of agree with you. Maybe he's overreacting. Maybe he's being insecure. Maybe he's just analyzing what a big deal it is that she goes to a class and she does do what style of dance takes place at that kind of dance class. And why didn't he just take it as, hey, she gets out of the house, she gets some time to herself.
It's my time to go out with the boys, do my whatever.
Stay home.
Well, but some guys want to, hang out with their boys or
whatever you want to do with your free time. You get some. There's that aspect of it, and then there's the I should accept it because it's an art, and I shouldn't see it as guys rubbing themselves on her at like a club. But no matter how you slice it, there's guys touching all over my girlfriend, and she's loving every second of it and looking like she couldn't be more passionate at that moment. And I sure as hell wish you would get that worked up for me. And I'm supposed to be excited about marrying a girl whose most excited moments are when she's going to dance class. Her most excited sexual moments is when she's going to dance class. Well, I feel like there's something maybe askew here. Something's not right, and I'm ready to get married. Maybe I need to take a step back. So I kind of am riding the line here, Terry.
Yeah.
I'm walking the line like Joaquin Phoenix did when he was an actor and wasn't retired. He's retired now, Terry.
I understand that.
He made it official.
I'm going to miss him.
You and the rest of the world, Terry.
I think so.
Listen, I want to take this opportunity and just talk a little bit about the fact that this will be my last performance as an actor. I'm not doing films anymore. Are you serious? Yeah.
That was just the reaction he was hoping for.
Come on, Joaquin.
Please reconsider.
What about Signs 2? More aliens.
Bill, you're on the air. Hello, Bill.
How you doing, T-Man?
Good, Bill. What can I do for you?
I wanted to comment on about the thing about the girl leaving and going to dance class and stuff.
Yes, Bill.
I got a girlfriend. She goes to work Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Get my time alone. It's kind of nice to have it alone. when she's gone, spend time with my family and stuff.
Yeah, and on top of that, she's bringing home some money. I mean, maybe if Eric saw at the end of the rainbow here, at the end of the felt-up rainbow, she was bringing home some cash, maybe he could justify all this.
That's right.
Rainbow.
Like even if your girlfriend's a stripper, she gets grinded all over by guys, but at least she's bringing home some ducats.
That's right.
She's going to dance class, and she's paying for it. She's paying for guys to rub up on her, Terry. What is not right with this picture?
Yeah.
But I will tell you that my wife, Terry, has done the dance class thing, and I am not at all moved or bothered by it in any negative way.
Right.
As a matter of fact, for her silly little recital, I was there in a chair.
She was a recital.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, she did a dance competition, did she not?
Oh, yeah,
Remember?
it was a competition,
Yeah,
whatever it was.
You
Whatever it
don't
was,
even know what
I was
Dance
there.
recital, you called it. That's for like 5-year-olds.
Whatever it was.
Downplay it like
Some
that.
silly little recital thing.
I was there with a
Cockamamie.
smile on my face and
There you go.
supportive words
This is
coming
boring.
out my mouth.
When's it going to end?
That's exactly what I was feeling. But I was there in a folding wooded chair, Terry.
All right. Hey, do you have anything stronger? I might break this one. No. Sorry.
And I was drinking the cheap punch, and I was very much feeling like it was as big a deal as they all felt it was, and that's the kind of supportive husband I am.
You weren't standing in the middle aisle with your camcorder like you're freaking Steven Spielberg
Oh, I
up
had
there?
a camera. I was taking pictures.
I mean,
like
camcorder,
she,
like
she
a movie.
requested I do.
Video camera.
I was not. She did not request
All right.
video,
She
thankfully.
just wanted to take
a couple of
pictures.
pictures. You know,
This is my wife over here. Yeah, that was my wife right there. Yeah, that's my wife. like a proud parent bragging about their kid.
and I was not at all. You know, she was dancing with other guys.
Sure.
Not the most grindy fashion like Eric's dealing with, but even if it was, I don't know, whatever.
I already had her.
I think I'm pretty sure I know who she loves. That's that.
Pretty
Yeah, the dance instructor, he's pretty hot. You're probably right.
Patrick, you're on the air. Hello. Yeah, these dance instructors do tend to look good.
I'm
And
sure.
Yes, they
if
do.
you decide to, like, at whatever moment you make the decision, if it really bothers you, or you decide it doesn't. And I decided it doesn't.
Would you ever take a class with her, ever, for any kind of dancing?
No!
Me either. I'd do a lot of things. Would never do that.
I show up to her
Jeez.
little
yeah,
recitals.
that's it.
No, and I was very proud to be there.
Good. And I'm sure
guess.
she
But
appreciated
joining her is out of the question, right?
It was pride combined with a nice dosage of boredom.
But you were supportive, and she appreciates
That's
that.
right.
Oh, God.
And that's all.
And
It's the give and take there in the relationship.
And when I tell her about the things
what
that
do I
make
get?
me excited, you know, like when I go to a big poker tournament, I do
Right.
well, she acts like she's excited
Right.
when she clearly isn't.
Right.
And that's all I ask of her.
That's true. Just act excited. My wife goes to all my freshman football games, and she does not want to be there.
Right.
She's like,
Freezing
"Go,
cold,
honey."
doesn't care, doesn't know any of the kids.
And that's what you do as a supportive person in someone's
Yeah,
world.
that's true.
You fake it. Patrick, you're on the air.
You should write a book. Fake it.
Patrick.
Hey, what's going on, T-Man?
What's up, Patrick? How are you, sir?
I'm pretty good.
What can we do for you?
Yeah, hey, check this out. I really wanted to make a comment. The guy, I think, is well within his rights to be a little suspicious like that because, hey, generally speaking, as guys and individuals, we tend to take on too much trying to figure out the person we're with rather than trying to love them. You know what I mean?
But you use the word suspicious. If there's one word that I think doesn't apply here, it would be the word suspicious. I mean, she invited him to come to this class and check her out. She
right.
wasn't hiding the fact
Right.
of what was going on at these classes with guys all bumped up on her, and she wasn't trying to keep it under wraps, and he just showed up at the dance class and peered through the window and couldn't believe his eyes. No, she welcomed him to come there. So if there's anything that doesn't really come into play here, it's the word suspicious. There's nothing suspicious going on.
Well, exactly.
He may have his
That's-
problem with it, but he shouldn't be suspicious. She welcomed him into the world.
Exactly. But dealing with what we got
There's
going
where
here,
the suspicion lies.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Well,
Why,
I
was she
love
so
you, man.
old?
I love you.
Oh,
I love you.
I love you too, man.
Yeah.
Let's get married.
Here's the
Love
deal.
fest.
Don't do any dance class. Let's make the very deal.
Yeah.
Don't have some guy grinding on you.
G-Man, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah.
We got an issue here. She did offer him to come there, but the simple fact that he's acting kind of crazy, it seems like he came there with ill-gotten faith. He went there on her wish, but on her invitation, but
Yes.
he is suspicious on his own. You know what I
The
mean?
bottom line is it bothers him,
Right.
and that's got to be not only an issue with him, but an issue with her, that she realizes, okay, this is the guy I'm marrying who's going to be bothered by something as professional as
Yeah.
going to a dance class and dealing with the art of the hip-hop dance, and if I'm going to be married to a guy who's suspicious over these things and bothered and bent out of shape over these things, I got to evaluate myself as to whether I want to be locked in for 50 years, because that's what you do when you get married. You sign a 50-year contract, Terry.
What?
I
thought it was 15.
Oh, 15 years?
You do, but this where the team of a relationship. This where a team of a relationship comes in. She may not be the type of person to always take the ring and go like take the initiative to say, if he's going to be jealous of this, I'm going to not do this or that. In her world, it may be okay to do this.
Well,
and she
obviously
might not,
it is, yes.
She might not. Yeah, well, yeah, she might not be ready to take on the fact that I got to take somebody else's emotions in consideration. This is where the team comes in.
And that's what I'm saying. This team may not be the best fit for each other. And these are the kind of things you got to figure out before you walk down the aisle. So Eric, who's at work right now, probably not even listening anymore, has to take this all in and realize, and if he has to be the runaway bride, well, then by all means.
Hope his eyes aren't as buggy. Ooh, that was scary.
1-866-663 T-Man. Back after these words.
The T-Man Show.
Break sign.
Come on, haven't we realized that as hard as we try, that kids are going to be exposed to whatever they're really looking for? Okay.
I do understand that, but the point is, it doesn't. I mean,
1-866-663 T-Man. So this, are you saying, Terry, that it would make you more reluctant to take your kids to a game if there was a deja vu within a stone's throw from the stadium?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
You're just the kind of person the Mariners don't want to hear from, but they realize that, and that's why they're going to court to fight this.
Exactly.
So you honestly would find this as a deterrent from going to a game because there's a deja vu a couple of buildings down.
Yep.
Even if there were a couple of buffer buildings between the stadium, because I'm sure it's not Safeco deja vu.
It might be, though. 400 feet? I mean, that's pretty close.
I'm sure
because they're right on the line, apparently.
I'm sure
where
it's
they got
Safeco, Tacoma Screw.
Tacoma Screw.
You just gave them a good play.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't the signage of Tacoma Screw sound a lot more blatant, which is a hardware store last I checked, right?
Yes.
Than Deja Vu?
Oh, no, a neon leg.
Unless you tell your kids what it is, maybe they won't put the neon leg up. How about that for a settlement?
No, but they should. I mean, they're trying to make money. Why wouldn't
their
Tabitha, because
reputation.
if it comes down to the building being there, the deja vu being there or not, they might be willing to let the neon leg go by the wayside for this particular individual establishment.
Hold your ground.
Tabitha, you're on the air.
You know, I think when you take your kids to the grocery store, you know, you can't protect them from seeing the colorful package of cigarettes or the cool-looking bottle of beer.
Yeah, I know.
Why those companies don't have to tone down their appearance. I don't think Deja Vu should either.
How do you fight that argument, Terry? I mean, you can't leave the house or you can't even stay in the house without your kids being exposed to something that you'd rather than not see.
I said I understand all that, and in fact, I even said that, yes, kids these days are exposed to things a lot quicker than in years past. But, I mean, that's
Doesn't
just...
mean you have to help the cause
you don't
along.
have to help it.
All right, let me go to Paul, who's anti the idea of putting it next to the stadium. Yes, Paul.
How you doing this morning, T-Man?
Pretty good, sir. Thanks for calling.
Hey, I got, putting a strip club, first off, in a residential area, not exactly the best business decision you can make.
Well, I don't know if
who's
it's
going to go to a strip club next to your grandma's house? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you asked the woman if there was one.
That was a ridiculous example. I was just trying to make a point. Right. But this isn't. This is a business-oriented district.
Either way, you don't want to. I mean, who's going to let a kid into a strip club? You know what I mean? If you're going to put one there anyhow, who's going to let a kid in?
Well, they're not really worried about letting the kids in. They're just worried about the messages, the overtone that is going to be in play if you have a deja vu within 400 feet. I thought you were against the idea. Are you against the idea or not?
Oh, no, I'm definitely against the idea, but what I'm saying is it doesn't make any sense at all to put to put a strip club near a school.
Sure it does.
First off,
40,000 drunk people coming out of a game from time to time?
it just doesn't make any sense.
The
Not at all.
demographics are perfect for
Yeah.
what Deja
Are you
Vu
kidding
is
me?
looking for. It mostly is guys, even though more and more women go to baseball games. It's mostly guys who are in the area after a game lets out at 10:30 when it's prime time, beginning the window of time when the strip clubs are really starting to get going. I mean, it couldn't be more perfect. All these drunk guys funneling out of the stadium, walking sideways, heading over to the strip club. Are you crazy?
Yeah, I don't think it'd be the best idea, man. You know what I
right.
mean? It just
Well, not for the
doesn't
reasons you say.
Doesn't show good moral for the city. I mean, who puts a big strip club next to like the city's team stadium? You know what I mean?
Well, it seems like Seattle does in a couple of months. And this would be the kind of news that makes ESPN and all the mainstream news wires will pick up on this. This will be big nationwide news if this happens.
Pretty funny.
If the day the doors open actually takes place, this will be not just a local bit of controversy.
Right.
This will become a national discussion on all the overdone talk shows. MSNBC.coms of the world will go with a story like this, and it'll become a national debate. Since it's still in the planning stage, it's just for us to communicate about right now.
You walk over to Pyramid, keep your buzz going, and head on back. It's perfect.
Mm-hmm. Oh, from a business standpoint, yeah,
great.
the guy's point couldn't have been further from the reality. Deja Vu knows exactly what they're doing. It couldn't be more of a perfect setup, basically funneling them right in the front door when the game lets out.
Oh, and by the way, how about a 2-block walk for Seahawks fans? How about that? Is that any good?
That's even worse.
Drunk on a Sunday night?
The Seahawks haven't said anything about this yet, have they?
Nah. I mean, they probably have no case because
Well,
it's
the
not close
Mariners
enough to
is
them.
more of a pure kind of America's pastime kind of.
But it's right next. I mean, it's really close to Safeco Field. You know, Quest Field, it's a little bit further away.
Yeah,
they don't have a case.
you think of a home run as a long distance, but when you walk it, it's nothing. 300 feet is the length of 100 yards.
Yeah, it's not that long.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry.
I paid you extra for you not to point that out.
You can pay for that?
Yeah.
Pay my wife. Okay, done deal.
Terry is very upset about this.
I just don't think it's necessary.
Wow, she's gone on record, even going as far as to say she would You can't hold it against the Mariners, though. They're doing everything they can to keep it out of the block, Terry. So you'd be punishing the Mariners by not going to games.
Well,
I'm way behind for a break. 1-866-663-TMAN. Back after these words.
The T-Man Show.
Yes, and text messages roll in at 97373, don't you know? That's 97373. Shall I read a couple of them here with some thoughts on the big problems that the Mariners have with the idea of a Deja Vu being opened within 300 to 400 feet from the stadium?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what we got here. At 8:56 and 23 seconds, somebody writes, just think of it. Deja Vu would be closer to my season seats than the Hit It Here Cafe.
And no one has hit it there that plays for the Mariners, by the way. So you might want to rename it.
8:53 and 17 seconds, someone writes, strip clubs perpetrate infidelity. Is that really what we're thinking?
Wow,
that if it weren't for strip clubs, we'd all be faithful men. Please.
Does the opposite, doesn't it?
Some people could make that argument, that strip clubs take out the frustration, take out the inner yearning for other women to a degree that you may not be as inclined to cheat on your girlfriend, your fiance, or spouse.
So why are you so frustrated being with me?
8:52 and 31 seconds, somebody writes, no one has a problem with a beer garden within 10 feet from the stadium. No one points out that as being a problem, do they?
Kids, this is where men get drunk and act stupid. Right here. All right?
That is a fair point, Terry. No one seems to bat an eyelash. The fact that there's a big, gathering of drunken, and that's the purpose of being in that little mosh pit of alcohol, is to get drunk, and it's directly like an arm's reach from the stadium.
Talking about center field?
Mm-hmm.
Or are you talking about pyramid?
I'm talking about the pyramid.
Oh, yeah, but there's one in center field. Everyone just stands in center field and just drinks.
I'm talking about, right outside the stadium, there's the pyramid where people just gather before and after the game and get all sloshed.
Right, great place.
Mm-hmm.
4 Hefeweizens to
You can get sloshed at home, too.
This guy writes, what about that message of a huge beer garden right across the street from the stadium?
Well, it's a restaurant.
It's a brewery.
So...
But their most prominent on-display aspect of the restaurant is the drinking gallery. The beer garden, as they call it. A beer garden. No one seems, cool,
But you don't...
beer garden.
Yeah, it's not a beverage garden. It's a beer garden. Can I get a Diet Coke? We don't have any. We have beer. It's a beer garden. And it's good. On a hot summer day.
Easy.
Little lemon in the hef. Oh,
okay.
8:52 and 24 seconds. Someone writes, I'm against the idea. I think that's a bit much for a little kid to take on a freaking strip club. And, I don't think you have to take them to both. But anyway, I don't think that's necessarily the point either. Anyway, wow. Let me see. Find the good ones here. Girls can't play in the major leagues, but they can. Never mind.
Huh? Love it when
Something tells me I want to hear that one.
Trying to see if it's worthy of making it on the air. I'm reading these on the fly, all right? Hang in there. Casey Dave smokes a double-headed bonger.
Whoa, is that marijuana or men? What are we talking about?
You take your pick. Okay. 8:48 and 38 seconds. Nicole's right. There's some nasty-looking girls that work at those strip clubs. Well, this would bring on a new breed of talent, maybe. If you got 40,000 dudes leaving the stadium all at once, and if they could get some small percentage of that to come over to the Deja Vu, Terry, you're talking about a can't-miss business opportunity for not only the owners of the club, but the girls that work there. So you don't think there's going to be some high-fly type of talent shifting over to the Safeco Deja Vu, as it'll be known to be?
See, and that's really what they don't want. They don't want it to be known as the Safeco Deja Vu.
Well, maybe the Mariners should start winning some games before they start making demands. How about that?
If it's 2001, they can make demands, right?
Yeah, if it's 2001 and they're setting records for all-time amount of wins that baseball's ever seen, they're in a position to start making demands. But you lose 100 games, shut your mouth!
Wow.
Take your strip club and like it.
Win some games before you start making demands. That's my philosophy.
We have 81 home games of drunk people streaming out of there. It's a brilliant move. Not to mention the 8 home Seahawk games just a mere block away. If you can make the walk. Jeez.
8:47, 15 seconds. The Mariners are really freaking uptight. My 20-year-old sister I got pulled from our seats and escorted out by 5 security guards for her taking her and then it got cut off, Terry, because you can only put a certain amount of characters. 160, is that the number?
Yep.
I think I actually heard the story that she's trying to convey here, if this is the one.
Yeah. With the kiss.
Where the two girls were kissing each other and they got escorted out. Yeah.
Right.
You get escorted out for less than that at Mariner games. They're very uptight.
But keep that in mind when you're texting. Try to keep it concise, because once you hit that 160th character, your text message is cut off at the knees.
Like Terry's a bunt fits easily. Is that what you're talking about?
Even Terry has a wizard sleeve.
Oh, yeah.
Or Terry, some Grand Canyon reference can be made easily within 160 characters, but if you try to convey a whole story, you're going to have to either shorthand it or really get to the point quick, or send 2 different text messages and continue it on the second one. Because the people obviously writing it don't realize where their message got cut off.
Right, they don't.
But according to our printout, it got cut off at C.
Oh. I'd love to know what C is. Love to know.
8:46 and 28 seconds. Someone writes, that would be the best day of my life, to go to a baseball game and then right to the titty bar. Bring it on.
Nice.
Let's see here. Okay, 8:45 and 35 seconds. Somebody simply writes, Mariners suck. Deja Vu rocks.
Now that's concise and to the point and just works.
8:45 and 26 seconds. No problem with the strip club. I worked at one for 2 years. People don't realize what a refreshing change of pace it could be for someone's life.
Okay.
8:45 and 15 seconds. Someone writes, the only problem I have with this is they should build the Deja Vu inside a Safeco field for where the game gets boring.
Right inside, huh?
Inside. Forget 300 feet away, because once you leave the stadium, you're not allowed to get back in. But if they have a strip club in the stadium, then that solves all problems. You know, they got clam chowder. They got everything for everyone now, Terry. Why not just put the strip club in there?
Why not just put a pole out there in center field and have them going up and down the pole during the game?
Not the worst idea. Better than the dancing ushers.
8:44 in 17 seconds. Yeah, the guy who throws the peanuts really doesn't do it for me anymore. I'm sorry.
Wreck the peanut guy.
8:44 in 17 seconds. Somebody writes, "This would be really cool. What if could I even get a stripper to wash my car while I watch the game before I head to the joint afterwards?"
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. 8:44 and 14 seconds. Someone writes, "Yeah, liquor and whores, bring it on."
Oh yeah, liquor and whores. Not everyone that works there is a whore.
Okay, so there's an idea of the text messenger's thoughts on the prospect of this deja vu opening just a mere stone's throw away. I mean, even if you throw like a girl, a stone's throw away.
Also, Vinnie could do it.
Oh, nice.
Oh, boy.
I don't know why a shot out of me taking to Vinnie for his lack of athletic ability
We
right
talked
there.
about him throwing like a girl in the air, right?
Hey,
Didn't we
well,
discuss that?
I can throw farther than other people in the room.
That is very true.
He did prove that he can outthrow Pasty Dave. At least
Well,
as far
I
as
didn't
the
wanna-
football's concerned.
You can't outsmoke him, though.
You didn't want to what?
No, I definitely can't. I definitely can't outsmoke him.
I forgot. Who throws like a girl? Which one is it? I thought it was you. It was you, right?
No.
I think it was more Pasty.
Oh, was it? Ah.
I thought Pasty just
You were
couldn't
down
throw
there.
very
You tell
far.
us.
And I thought,
I don't remember. I thought they both did, actually.
1-866-663-T-Man. Let me go to Jeff. You're on the air, Jeff. What's up?
Hey, T-Man.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Love you.
Then I'm going
Love
to
you
go to
all group.
Tiny, who's waiting patiently. Yes.
Now,
yes, Jeff.
I needed to remind the folks that listen to the radio that how wrong strip clubs are because women are supposed to pay for all the nookie.
Women should be paying men for the right to grind on them. Is that right?
Exactly.
I see. So they got it backwards at these strip clubs, and they have had it backwards for decades now. You should go there as a man, and you should get cash for allowing these women to grind up on you. That's how Jeff sees it.
For anything, for kissing, hugging, grinding, loving, sex, women pay for it all.
All right.
wow.
It'd be a nice utopia.
Yeah.
Tiny! 1-866-663-T-Man. Tiny, you're on the air.
What's going on?
You tell us, Tiny, our friend.
Man, the Mariners would be more upset if I lived in the neighborhood. Keep my front window open while naked women dance around. So, you know, you got a better chance of seeing somebody nude walking past the home than you do past a strip joint. And people who think, I'm sorry, like Terry, I don't see how y'all breathe with y'all's head that's up y'all's ass.
Wow.
I breathe just fine, thank you.
How do you breathe with your head up your ass by going on record as saying that you'd be reluctant and leaning towards keeping your kids away from baseball games in the future if there's a deja vu right next door?
It just kills me that, you know, and Terry, I'm never bashed you or anything, and I never would. You know, what you do is your thing. But you got 47 kids with 57 daddies. How you gonna be so morally upward?
I'm just saying that I don't
point.
feel that
I'll never
it's
bash you.
necessary
What?
to push it, you know, to push it so hard. I understand that, you know, you can't, you know, ban your kids from seeing everything, especially with the internet and television and all that. But it's, I mean,
But Terry's point is that doesn't mean we have to make decisions like
Yeah,
this.
it
Doesn't mean we have to go for a free-for-all now.
That's all.
where she's coming from. Yeah, she understands the internet's out there. Yeah, she understands there's going to be a drunken guy saying weird
Sure.
things at the game when she takes her kid. Doesn't mean we have to make decisions that can be avoided like this one. And if they make this decision, she's going to protest in the worst fashion possible by taking it out on the people and hurting the business of the people that are doing everything they can to avoid this from happening.
And by the way, because Terry's not with her, you know, kids' dads doesn't mean she's not allowed to have a moral compass.
Right.
Everything comes down to that. Oh, hey, Terry, how can you say anything?
Hey,
come on, she can have.
I mean, you know, Tiny, and I never bash you, but I mean, what do you really do for a living, and what do you do in the house when your kid is home is two different things.
Easy.
I didn't hear that. What I do at home?
Well, some people, I mean, you and your wife engage in the open marriage, and some people don't feel that that's necessary to have a child involved in that. So you have a child with the same woman. Great, kudos for you. But, you know, everybody's lifestyle is different.
I know some people don't have that confidence that I have, and that's understandable.
But that's-
or people look at sex as love, and If that was the fact, I've been in love many different times.
Right, and I understand
Just this week. Yes. Tiny, I appreciate your call. Your points are very well said and on the record, my friend.
Have a good one.
Take care. Jason, you're on the air. Hello.
Hey, T-Man. Just want to, talk about the good old Soto district with this whole problem here next to the Mariners.
Is that what they call it, the Soto
Soto
district?
Yes.
Soto
Was
Mojo.
it called that before the Soto Mojo?
Yes, that's why they call it.
Oh, really? That's why they came up with Soto Mojo?
Yes.
Where do you think it's Soto came
I had
from?
no idea.
Soda Pop?
I don't know.
My last name?
I never figured it out. I just thought it was a cute little saying.
Really?
No,
Soto Mojo.
It's the Soto
It's the
district.
Soto
I
district.
never put that together.
There you go.
I thought it was Georgetown-ish area.
No, it's further down.
Weren't there the big talk they're going to put all these strip clubs in the Georgetown area?
Yeah.
And Georgetown is even further. It's
John Thompson got very pissed.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Very against that. Terry wouldn't take her kids to see a Hoya game. Anyway.
Nope, sure wouldn't.
Jason, go ahead.
Well, the thing is, T-Man, what am I supposed to do when I take my niece to Alderwood Mall? We're walking through, and we go by Victoria's Secrets. Oh, what's that, Uncle? What's over there? I'm like...
Or even worse, an Abercrombie and Fitch.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, but they've gotten
To see all the naked 13-year-old boys.
Where's that again,
the
dude?
strip club's not really is the problem. The problem is that the city of Seattle just wants to make a big old bluff about it because they already had problems before it with Lake City with Rick's, and they push into the industrial section. That's not good enough where they wanted to be at, and West Seattle.
Oh yeah, who'd want to go there?
And I'm telling you, if you were driving down Aurora and you drove by the Deja Vu, you would not be able to identify what kind of building that was, aside from the dangling leg in neon lights and the bright lights.
Kid's never seen a leg in a stocking.
What if they agreed on just omitting the typical trademark leg hanging down from the structure? And it was then a very subtle-looking building, more subtle than anything else that you could be rolling up on. Would you then have the same problem with it, Terry? What if they came to that agreement? You still have just knowing it's there is what bothers you.
I think that
the power of
it's
suggestion.
right.
The fact that you know that it is in the neighborhood is where the problem lies. So the dangling legs removal is not an issue. That will help you along here.
And I think it also invites very seedy individuals that are not.
Come on. You got people pissing in the street already there, Terry.
But what I'm saying is it doesn't necessarily, give you the most upstanding citizens.
And Seahawk games do.
If you want to see the individuals, come sit in the south end zone with me.
You
They might not even have the leg.
The Seahawk fans are going to love this after a Seahawk game, especially when they lose. All right, Deja Vu time, let's go!
That's right.
Crazy. You know what your husband tells you being outside those games and how they behave?
I know.
You think you can get more seedy? Is that what you're worried about? More seedy?
Well,
really?
It's obnoxious,
Yeah, well, you want obnoxious, come to section 123.
That's
We'll show you.
And he even has said, the Mariner fans are and the Seahawk fans are two totally different types of people.
Your husband has pointed out that when he does security for Mariner games, it's a completely different element and a much classier type of patron than the Seahawk games.
Yes.
Really?
There's something to that.
I mean, they come out, they're drunk,
Seahawk
obnoxious.
fans get 8 games a year. You got to make the most of it.
And they're just
right? You have to temper your body and to Cuervo.
Right. And he has said that when it comes to Mariners, it's very family oriented.
And they verbally abuse police outside of Seahawk games?
Oh, Seahawk games? Yeah, they're bad.
And Mariner games, they don't?
No. They're cool. He says they're great. They do go to their cars. They get out and they.
Hello, Seattle's finest. Here's a check for the policeman's boy.
Yeah.
But
we lost 9-0 again tonight.
But they're definitely
couldn't have enjoyed it more.
Two different types of
I believe that.
fans.
No, I think there's. I'm not going to argue with you
mentality
on that.
wise.
Seahawk fans are, hey, can I cross the street here, Pigger?
Yeah, exactly. No, that
Seahawk
is so
fans for you.
true. That is so true.
Oh, what did I call you? Cop? Officer? Sorry, what did I say?
Yeah.
Ashley, you're on the air. Ashley works at a strip club and would like to get her thoughts on the record.
He's been called.
Ashley, you are on the air.
Hey, how you guys doing this morning?
Is Ashley your dancer's name, or is it your real name, or neither?
No, my dancer name is actually Remy.
Remy.
Yes.
Okay, Remy. I'd rather refer to you as Remy if you don't mind. What can we do for you, Remy?
Keep it non-personal.
Well, honestly, to be truthful, I just feel that people are actually stereotyped when they hear the word strip club.
Hey, that song was too short. Oh, just instinct. I'm sorry.
Oh, man. Sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Remy.
Go ahead. It's all right.
Yeah.
Well, actually, they don't really know exactly what goes on. No, people have never really mapped out exactly what we do as far as in these different clubs. And if people took it seriously, just like we take any other job, they might be able to look at it at a different standpoint, or if they put on the big old go-go boots that we really have to dance in, they might have a different look at the hard work that we have to go through. And by us being able to move by the Mariners, that would actually help our business out. And I think people are actually kind of hating on that. Like, I really believe that they just hear strip club and don't know what to think other than a naked woman.
So you're insulted.
Grinding on a man.
You're insulted that anyone sees your industry as any more seedy as some of the dirty things that go on in just about any big business and any Fortune 500 company in this country. And by the Mariners going to court to suggest that you work and are involved in a seedy, dirty industry insults you.
I can honestly say not 100% of everyone can insult that. They don't normally do that. I mean, we even have women that come in here and they support us. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's just people being.
But do you see it as the Mariners? The Mariners
Mm-hmm.
standing in your way of making as good a living as possible? Because you see this, obviously, the demographics are perfect, as if the Deja Vu gets to be opened in that particular spot, that your ability to make money will certainly go on the incline, and the Mariners and other people who are protesting are standing in your way of the American way, and that's making as much money as you can possibly make using your given talent.
Yeah, that's true. I honestly believe that.
Well, I don't want to put words in your mouth. I thought that's what you were saying. But anyway.
That's beautiful. Seahawks fans have been pre-funking for 8 hours. Here I come. You ready for me now? I got my wallet out and I'm ready to spend.
Well, why don't you explain that to Tina, who does not want this strip club anywhere near the stadium? Tina, you're on the air. Tina, can you hear me?
Oh, yes.
Hi, Tina. Tina, we got Tina. You're on the air with me and Ashley, the stripper. I'm sorry, Remy.
Oh, well, that's a good day for you.
So say what you got to say there, Tina.
Well, I wanted to voice an opinion about something that I don't think that you all have thought about. It's the fact that about the people that will be coming out of the strip club. You have to worry about the people who are getting all worked up in the strip club and coming out, and there are all these people, that are coming out, women, girls, children, and you've got this drunk guy possibly walking out of the strip club, with all these people in front of them. So that's something that, needs to be considered as well.
Well, I mean, you're walking in the middle of the street after leaving a baseball game. You would think the kids that you're worried about being exposed to these drunken individuals couldn't be more under the eye of the parents that hopefully are holding their hands as they cross the street. So you're talking about... Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, hopefully holding their hands, but, we see all the time, parents who their kids just wander off, or, we hear about missing kids all the time.
Wander off in the middle of Edgar Martinez Way?
Come on, there's nowhere to go. Now I'm down to Dan Wilson Boulevard.
But, maybe because there hasn't been a strip club there before.
Oh, I like the way your voice squeaked when you said strip club. Anyway.
That's awesome.
No, okay, Tina has a point that she feels is a valid one, and it's tough to argue with.
What, the drunk, sexed-up guys coming out? Is that what she's saying?
She's worried about the drunk, sexed-up guys exposing themselves to the teenage girls that may be taking in a game amongst their group of friends. I think maybe that's where you're going with this. And you worry about those two worlds colliding.
Colliding, exactly. I mean, even if they go into the Mariners game and get a little drunk or whatever, and then go into the strip club, and then here they are, they're getting all worked up with no way to release it there in the club. They may have some inappropriate behavior once they leave out of the club.
It's very valid.
Okay.
So if you see a drunk Mariner guy coming at you in a Mariner windbreaker and a tall boy, just go to the other end of the street, right? Isn't that what we do? All right.
Have to be a pretty impressive tall boy if he's got a windbreaker on, or a big poncho. Anyway, whether or not this happens, we'll keep you posted, ladies and gentlemen. Where are we in the process here? Because as I told you, the first I heard about this possibility of a deja vu right next door to Safeco Field, basically, was yesterday.
Right. Well, the Mariners, like we said, have already put into court their objection to it, and that's kind of where.
And that's where we're at right now.
Yes.
Lawyers are going to fight it out.
They are.
And if the lawyers and the judges determine that the Mariners don't have a case, it's done. It's going to open within a matter of months. Has
I
it
would
been?
Say, yeah.
Is it being built? Is it?
Well, they can't really do. I don't think they
It's
can
in
actually
limbo.
start anything because of the objection.
They probably shouldn't waste money on it if they can't
There's
build
an
it.
injunction stopping it from being pursued as far as building the structure and Dropping the leg from the sky. All right. Well, you know how long things could be tied up in court.
Right.
The Mariners could be good again by the time this whole thing actually happens.
Oh, so
who knows?
2040 it's going to happen?
Mm-hmm. By 2040, yeah.
Okay, cool. Well,
I'm more optimistic about the Mariners being
are you
good,
really?
like, next season, yes.
What brings this on?
They got a new general manager and a new attitude.
Woohoo!
But in case they're as bad as they were this past year, you can certainly leave in the 5th inning now with no worries about where you're going to go next.
None.
Maybe the Mariners are worried about that. Maybe they don't want people leaving early with a place to go right down the street.
They already paid, so what do the Mariners care?
Mm-hmm. Well, they're not buying as many
treats,
peanuts, and a Cracker Jack.
Yeah, but they closed at 7th inning anyway.
But what, Terry?
Well, as somebody pointed out, and the other thing too
But
is
what? Yeah. Oh, somebody, you're about to tell me what?
I was.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You also have the whole notion of, say, a stripper standing outside when the game is about to get over and handing out the cards to.
This is not Vegas, Terry. When they're
Well,
smacking the trading cards and
you
handing
don't
them to
know that,
on the
though,
table.
right?
They don't do that. They don't show you
they
the
might.
product for free.
They don't.
They don't do that.
You never know.
They don't have to do it.
We do.
You have never obviously been within a block of a strip club,
Doesn't sound
Terry.
like it.
No, but
you've walked down the Vegas Strip and you got horrified by what you saw.
But the thing is that are they usually in an area where there's
the strippers are not out front going 2 for 1 special.
Right,
Well, you never know.
People
Could be
know
a new
what goes
marketing
on in there. I don't
ploy.
need a pamphlet to tell me what goes on in here.
The T-Man Show.
By so fast, and because the focus is really on this this SUV carry, we're not seeing it. But what we're seeing now is the SUV driving once again on a shoulder. It looks like he's headed toward an off ramp, and now, back on
Car
the
chase
freeway
on TV,
once again,
Terry.
where it looks like traffic.
I thought we were done showing car chases on TV, but apparently there's a good one going on right now.
If this is 595,
Yeah.
that heads east and west and heads out to a community called Weston. So he may have, let's see there.
That sign just said the off ramp to 869. Does that sound familiar to you,
869.
Karen?
Sounds good. Anyway, this car in Florida is running from the law, apparently involved in a robbery, and they're showing it on TV. And I don't know why the helicopter is following him. Unless this guy can just zap and disappear. I don't know why he thinks he's going to escape the police at this point.
I think he might be.
And he's weaving in and out of like 4-lane traffic.
Oh, that old trick.
Oh, he pretended like he was getting off the off-ramp, and now he's still back on the highway.
You see this police cruiser right behind this. And, Carrie, I'm not sure if you've been watching throughout this, but at some point, the authorities or the police officer behind him bumped this vehicle, trying to force him off the road while there were several cars in and around the area.
But now it looks like these cars, Tamron, too, are going slower. The other passenger vehicles on this interstate are not going as fast as they were on the other interstate. It looks like the chase itself may have slowed somewhat.
That's 95. He's on Interstate 95, so I stand corrected. He's on Interstate 95.
That's the equivalent of I-5 here on the West Coast.
And he'll be exiting Broward. If he continues at this rate, he'll be exiting Broward County shortly and going into Palm Beach County.
A whole new set of cops need to be
That
right
is
up
true. The HOV lane. Traffic's kind of light this time of day.
Who's out of our district?
This is a clean shot. I mean, a lot of this road, as you can tell, has been rebuilt recently. So the lanes are extremely wide and clear.
I'm sure the guy who's trying to get away is very appreciative of them, smoothing out the
Clearly,
lane
the
for him.
officers have the possibility of putting some other units ahead of him. In Florida, they use a
lay down some taps
that allows for what they call mutual aid. So the police officers here would be able to contact officers from other communities to get out there and possibly put a rolling blockade of vehicles in front to slow him down.
It looks like he's just lost the officers who were tailing him. He just pulled a quick move off to the right and onto another freeway.
I was just going to say that because last time the cop didn't even look like he was going to fall for the trick. I was going to say you should actually go this time.
High-speed chase.
You're drawing out game. What an offensive coordinator you
I was
are.
thinking because the guy didn't even bite.
The initial chase, and that I'm told is from the Miami Beach Police Department.
Yeah, and and I should explain too, Tamron and Carrie, that I'm a little ahead of
Just like the safety staying at home, so we're going to run this play.
one feed that's coming in live, and we're delaying our feed a little bit, just because in these cases we're always very.
That was a high-risk maneuver, though. He went across 4 lanes of traffic to get off on an off-ramp at the last second there, and all the cops who were following him on eye. Oh, he just hit someone?
No, he just squished between 2 cars somehow.
The interstate, and this is where the real problem becomes because it's not only other cars.
It is kind of shades of The look of the car is shades of the Bronco driving.
I know.
The real danger
It's
to
got that
everybody
kind of look. This white SUV.
of
Is
course,
that what it
there's
is?
other
Or they,
vehicles,
it's like a van to me, but they said
really-
SUV.
It's an SUV.
It's, it's nice weather out today. It's in the 70s.
All right.
People are outside.
Oh, it's a nice day for a car chase.
By our producers at this chase is just south of the Boca Raton Airport.
Oh, this is near my
right
house.
now, Carrie.
He's gonna run over my house.
well,
He gets to spend more time by my house than I do.
The
What if he
pictures,
crashed
you know,
into your house?
Wow.
A lot of manicured yards, nice houses.
Thank you. I'm glad my gardener's getting
The
it.
roads are very clean,
Hey, there's your
and,
mom.
It does not appear that right now they've got anything
Oh,
else
he's
to slow
stuck. He's
them down.
stuck. He's
No, he's not.
Oh,
he got-
wow.
I think he's in a Durango. Is that my
A
car?
little turn to the right. He goes off
Oh,
the road
look
onto
at
the
this.
grass, through an intersection. Look at this, a quick right hand.
Look at this, he said for radio.
Onto another lane. I have yet to see the police officers here, Cameron.
No, you know what, Contessa?
I mean, you can
it's
imagine what's
interesting
going on here. This SUV is weaving between cars and being
obviously
chased by the
their lives
law.
could be in
And,
danger as well.
and he's
We
doing a
don't know
good
if the
job
person
of.
is armed or whatnot. The only time that we've actually seen an officer get out was when this suspect was stopped at an intersection, and we saw an officer jump out of his cruiser.
He's on some serious side streets now, though. Look at him.
But that
at her.
officer,
Oh, yeah.
this suspect just
The alligators will get him.
traffic and went on from
Not the
there. We still
cops.
have Carrie on the phone, and Carrie, give us some more
Ooh.
detail here about the.
He's stuck in a cul-de-sac.
The assistance that the other officer.
Cameron,
let's see
one
what's
second
happening
here. We're watching here. As
Oh, he's
See ya.
getting out at a home. He's
Oh,
getting.
it's your house.
Passenger
look at that.
shot just went out, but right before that, we saw someone getting out on the
Wow,
passenger
there's a
side.
woman in the car,
another
too.
individual on the driver's side.
Look at him.
And now
So he's
they're in the
running. He's running.
neighborhood.
He's got a gun in his hand.
He's ducking.
Here he is.
Oh, if a gun?
The chopper
Oh, he's
has a
asking
great
me.
shot.
Oh,
We
he's got a
haven't
gun
seen
in his
police
hand.
Catching up.
No way.
Since he
No.
made that
Does he?
quick
That's not a gun?
move
Look
to
the
get
way he's
off
holding
of,
it.
Yeah,
what
maybe.
looks like I-95. But here's
they're
the
trying to
suspect.
get into this home.
They're trying to get in.
Yeah, they're trying to get into
Who knows
this
whether
home.
this is an area that they know or not?
Rita in her
or
bikini.
they
What's
just
she doing
know
out
that
there?
there's enough
Well, now it makes
running that
sense.
They're going to try and get inside and hide it. But
Oh, my
you know,
gosh.
if they're trying to hide, it's not going to work because the
A woman got out of the passenger seat,
these
and
chopper
a dude
shots
got
as
out of
well,
the
they can
driver's
find this
seat.
neighborhood.
And I believe also
And they went in different directions.
Chopper is
He's like, all right, later.
Yeah, that's the best move.
That is. Don't run with me.
Don't
Get
let us
away.
both get caught at the same time. Yeah,
You
you're
know,
too slow.
The natural instinct is to worry
See ya,
or
fatty.
wonder if there are people in these homes right now,
Wow.
and these guys are armed.
All right, well, we're just
They're
tuning
armed.
in
There
to
yet?
MSNBC, not .com, but MSNBC, the channel, and
Where are the cops?
this is an ongoing live bit of car chase turned into on-foot chase news. And, you know, always,
Pretty wild.
always kind of a fun moment. I thought they stopped showing these things on TV. I thought they were kind of played up, but
Yeah,
I haven't seen one in a while, so I'm kind of like geeked up for it. But
They know how we're all reacted to it.
oh, there he is.
Uh-oh.
Oh, they got him
Lots of cops.
surrounded now.
Yeah, but he's got a gun.
No, I don't know. Would
He had a gun.
Really?
Definitely. The way he was holding his
Appears
hand,
to
he
be
looked like
a
he had a gun.
neighborhood in Boca Raton, Florida. This is north of Miami. A chase that began in Miami. We're told that this is a robbery suspect from Miami Beach, a robbery that occurred in Miami Beach. The police choppers here over this particular house. They're going to try and track down the driver of this SUV minivan.
He got out in a real kind of tree-filled area.
Sure.
He may be able to get away.
Let's see what this is. This an officer?
The
in the
cops
white
are looking
shirt?
around like they don't know where he is.
He's got a
And
secret
now
tunnel
they've got
underneath
their
that
guns
house.
drawn. Again, this is a residential neighborhood, and they have spread out the authorities here in pursuit of these suspects here.
I mean, they're kind of making a circle around a certain perimeter, but they
They have
don't
no
have an
idea.
idea where he is right now.
Okay, there's another shot apparently of one of the suspects, Contessa, now in custody.
Oh,
got one.
Yeah, they got the slow-ass woman.
Yeah.
Here, but
No
our
shot.
producers are telling me that there's another.
She turned herself in, probably.
Suspect in
Just showed-
custody.
He might have taken her hostage for all you know.
We actually just showed
doubt it.
what appeared to be a couple officers walking very slowly behind a man who may have been the suspect. And now wait, watch as this chopper shot zooms in.
Wow.
And what you're going to see here,
see.
I think
They got
we've
him?
got
Yeah,
it right
there it
here.
is.
Oh, they got him.
They were referring
Where's
to
the
this
girl?
is video,
Where's
but there
the
was
lady?
Talking
another
crap,
person
too.
I believe jumped out of that vehicle with a
It looked-
white shirt on. I thought we
And
saw
long
Contessa.
hair. So
yeah.
was it a woman?
He's like,
Was
what?
it
What's
a
the
guy with
problem?
long
What
hair?
I do? I was out for a Sunday drive.
You got the wrong guy.
The T-Man Show.
How's it going there? How's it happening?
Good. Everything's good in you.
It's all right. I'm just looking at the paper, seeing Seattle Sonics in the wrong uniforms, and getting a tad bit more annoyed than really probably ever I have been in the whole situation. And that's saying a lot, Terry, since
yeah.
I've been agitated all the way through about it.
Yeah.
Look at all these friggin' just crap kicking hicks going to the game with their little Oklahoma City jerseys on.
Where's the thunder?
It's not their fault. It's really has nothing to do with them, and yet I want them all to die. But that's all right.
Well,
not literally, I guess. I don't know.
right. But you definitely don't want them to have a good season or be successful in any way, shape, or form.
Well, I mean, let's say they won the championship the next 3 years.
Oh.
Wouldn't you then really want them all to get the plague? Just they don't deserve this. This is our team. What
No,
are
I
they doing,
understand.
dancing on the streets of Oklahoma City over our team? They're supposed to know how bad they suck.
I understand that, but they're just happy that they have an NBA team in Oklahoma.
Yeah, if I was there, I'd feel the same as them, and
Right.
they have absolutely every right to feel the way they do. And
Right. We're lashing out at the wrong people.
yet I want all their balls to explode. I'm not talking about the basketballs on the rack there. Let's see here. Yeah, it's exciting times for Oklahoma City. Well, at least I know my fantasy football team ain't moving, Terry.
Well, there you go.
That's all I care about at this point.
Yeah.
No chance my fantasy football team is moving to, like, Nebraska, right?
I don't think so.
I'd be like, oh, damn. Not happening, right?
Nah.
Okay.
Well, the commissioner could come and say you don't provide enough suites for your team and get in the back pocket of some new owners, and they could be gone.
Plenty of sweets for my team. I give them Nestle's Crunches. I give them all kinds of...
Especially this time of year, right?
Yes, plenty of sweets to go around. That's all we got left in the world.
I'm killing it.
Are
I'm
you?
running out. The kids aren't
Kit
going to have any.
Kats. I mean, we stocked up on Halloween candy about 3 weeks ago.
Right.
And now with it tomorrow night, I got to go out and
buy more.
Buy more.
I've had to go back.
All gone. You can't have Kit Kats in my house for 3 weeks.
Exactly.
Are you nuts?
I think I am here. I think I'm 290 because I don't like candy.
Oh,
God.
So there's Nick Collison jamming. There's
he jams?
A sold out. Apparently for Oklahoma City he does.
Okay, good. Wow.
There's a sold out Oklahoma City little Ford Center. Isn't that going to have to be changed real quick, the name of that place? Ford may not make it through the season.
I know.
The Ford Center in Oklahoma City? Where's the connection between Oklahoma City and the company Ford? Ford just put up the bucks? Maybe
I guess,
Ford should be, like, hunkering down with their money at this point. What do you think? Since their share price is down to $2.
Right.
There's a lot of car lots closing up around here.
I know.
A lot of Ford dealers?
Yeah.
Yep.
Really?
GM.
GM
Bunch of car shops or car dealers are closing up.
Well, they'd love to sell cars to people, and people would love to buy them, but no one's giving anyone credit. Can't even get credit to buy a car, not to mention a house.
Yep.
So, hey, we're not here to dwell on the downsides.
Oh, no.
We're here to take the glass half full approach, and even though our team is gone and now being celebrated by a bunch of grit-eating weirdos,
we have
that's okay. You have grit in your house? Grits in your house?
Yeah.
That's, well, you know.
Southern boys. So. That's where I live.
Well, he's
Seriously.
long since transformed from being a weirdo, and he moved to a more, urban area of the world.
Yeah, he'll be the first to say, I'll never go home again.
There you go. Either will I, by the way. I
And
was from the biggest city in the country, and I'll never go home again.
Right.
Everyone loves it here. Nobody leaves.
Nobody leaves. And even when they try to leave, like, oh, I'm moving to Phoenix. I'm sick of the weather.
Right.
2 to 6 months later, yeah, I came back. I didn't feel it. Hear that all the time. It happens a lot.
It does.
All these hot girls leaving. I'm like, oh, you can't go. 2 months later, they're back.
When'd you get back? Oh.
And more depressed and vulnerable than ever. It's perfect. Anyway, let us step aside. We'll come back. We'll get things started right into these words.
The T-Man Show.
Is Elizabeth Hasselbeck getting death threats? That's the big rumor rocking The View after Whoopi reportedly said Elizabeth gets threatened more than anyone else on the show. Today, ABC insists that rumor is false.
Wow.
The network tells Extra Whoopi was misquoted.
Yeah, downplay.
Of course.
Hey, Elizabeth Hasselbeck is very strong with her feelings towards Sarah Palin and John McCain, and political tensions are high right now. People feel like she's kind of dumb, so they get annoyed with her. Right. And before you know it, your annoying feeling towards her leads to basically calling up and telling her if she doesn't shut up, you're going to kill her. You can see how it can get away from you real quick, right?
Sure.
Political tensions are very high right now, Terry.
Well,
Before you know it, she's going to come onto the set with a backwards B on her cheek.
She is very, very outspoken with her whole Republican views and such.
Has
and
been
she
for a long
doesn't-
time.
Yeah, and she doesn't hide it.
Doesn't hide it. Not smart enough to even try to curtail it. She's very outwardly spoken about it, and people felt like she got, under their skin enough when Bush won the second term because she was very outward about it that time around. And now Joy Behar is like, she can't win again, can she? This little freaking bitch doesn't even belong here. That's what Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg are the ones pretty much leaving the death threats.
Well, supposedly, though, Whoopi went on to say that she does respect Elizabeth Hasselbeck.
Whatever.
Regardless of how outspoken, and even though they may
no
disagree.
respect for her whatsoever. They have zero respect for her. They think she's dumb. They're pretty much right. But she's done a remarkable job of not getting fired from that show.
She has.
She's been the lone dissenting voice. I guess they need that. And, she shows up every day. And there it is.
That's a start.
Mm-hmm.
Just wish someone would convince my mom that that's not Matt's wife, please.
Okay.
How many times do I have to argue with her about
I had to
this?
argue with a guy at the game that wasn't Matt Hasselbeck's
That's
wife.
unbelievable.
He's like, no, I read it in the ESPN magazine. I'm like, well, you read it wrong,
I know
sir,
you
because
did.
that's Matt Hasselbeck's brother's wife. We're like, well, I'm going to take ESPN magazine's word over it over yours, dude. I'm like, well, then you do that. Just because you can't read. I swear, I was getting to the point where I was going to give this dude a death threat right next to me.
Yeah. Wow. My mom just is convinced.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it's spelled the same. It's Hasselbeck. Look at it. I know. He has a brother.
You wouldn't know it because his brother has never really played it down in the NFL, even though he's been on a team forever, hasn't he?
Really?
I don't think he's on a team right now.
I don't
though.
think he is either.
I thought he was done.
Getting a
He was
paycheck for a few years.
finally cut. They were like, why are we paying you? You never play.
That's kind of gig.
Even Seneca Wallace plays, yes. Well, we're counting on him now.
Yeah, we are.
But whatever happened with the woman with the backwards B carved into her face?
Remember, she admitted
She admitted it was a hoax.
It
But
was
is she
a
going to
hoax,
jail, or
and
what's the deal with
I'm
that?
sure she probably is going to get some kind of, small little time or a fine or something like
She's
that.
not going to do time.
Well,
she self-inflicted a wound on herself. She
fell in the
claimed it
mirror.
was claimed it was done by some Barack Obama supporter.
Yep.
They'll give her a big tongue lashing or something like that, and
especially in prison,
in some venue, in some courtroom, perhaps, and they'll send her on her merry way. Right? She's not going to do time for
not
something
then
like that. I doubt.
years, maybe 30 days,
She
something
ain't-
like that.
I'll be shocked if she does 30 days.
All right.
Unless she's a repeat bogus type, blow the whistle on the world when it was yourself making it all along, the kind of offender. I don't know. I don't see it happening. But that's all right. What else is going on?
Well, police may have found the gun that was used to murder the members of Jennifer Hudson's family.
And why is that important? I mean, pretty much everyone knows what happened there. Everyone knows who did it. They don't
well,
have
they
to put
don't
the clues
know.
together.
Well, they still do. They still, in
'Cause
order
to make a case stick
Yes.
against the guy? Come on. They really need a weapon?
Yeah.
Everyone knows he did it.
Well, he's denying it.
He's denying it?
Absolutely.
Really? Yeah. He's come out and said, wasn't me?
Right.
Really?
Yes, he has.
I didn't hear that.
He's like, oh,
Well,
not
that's
me.
predictable, right?
Well, so then they have to build a case so to find the murder weapon is a
Come
big
on,
deal.
how much of a case do they need? He's not OJ. He's not some celebrity who's going to get off on his celebrity status.
Still, they
Done. We don't have a weapon. Convict anyway, Jerry. Okay, done. Send him away. I mean, he did it, right?
Well,
Yeah, if you're a normal guy and you kill a celebrity, you're going down.
You kill a whole celebrity's family. You got an 8-year-old dead. I mean, come on. This is justice needing to be done, obviously. I mean, the jury's going to see and hear about an 8-year-old being killed at the end of all this. And they're not letting them go.
Well,
they
like
don't
I
need
said,
a gun.
He's still in jail just for the probation violation.
Uh-huh.
And
Because that's all they need to keep him on right now.
Well,
if the probation violation expired or whatever the terminology would be, they would still keep him. They're
No,
not
they
gonna-
have-
Well, gotta let you go. No.
they have to actually,
They would find some other charge based on this particular scenario, this tragedy that went down, to keep him on.
If you're a suspect, they can keep you.
He ain't seeing the light of day between now and the next life. All right?
Next life.
It's questionable into the next life as to whether he sees the light of day for what he did.
well, and they're saying too that he did have some gang affiliation. It also did Jennifer Hudson's brother. So they're trying to piece everything together.
It's probably not him.
I don't know.
I mean, come
well,
on.
but I'm just giving you guys
What are
the
the odds
details.
that it's not him, right?
All right.
He's entitled. Don't get me wrong. He's entitled to his fair trial.
Right.
But don't make it like they're really scrounging. Oh, we got to make sure we do this by the book. We got to make sure we get all the evidence lined up. They know that they don't have to do much to convict this guy.
Yeah.
This guy, he ain't some. Who's going up on a retrial this morning that I read about? The Phil Spector
Oh,
dude.
Phil Spector. Yeah, it started yesterday or today. I think.
Yeah, this didn't happen in L.A. Maybe if this happened in L.A., the L.A. juries like to make it all Hollywood with their deliberations and everything.
Phil Spector.
If this happened in L.A., maybe you'd have a chance to get off. But where this happened in Illinois,
wasn't it?
Chicago.
Yeah, it's over.
So,
all right.
I know. Well, I agree with you, but they still have to build a case. That's
Save
all I'm saying.
Save your money. Hire the public defender. Save whatever you got for the rest of your family and friends. It seems like you'd be going away for a while, dude.
Yeah, if they let him go now, he's pulling a Scott Peterson, coloring the hair, and heading to Mexico.
You think?
Done. See ya.
Is there any other possible scenarios that they're throwing around? I mean, at least with OJ, they had could have been drug dealers, could have been this, could have been
Well,
that.
I'm sure that they could probably say because of his gang affiliation, maybe he paid a couple of the gang members.
Well,
I don't
if he
know.
paid a couple of the gang members, that still makes him as
But-
guilty as
No, I
anyone who
understand
does a
that.
murder
I
himself.
understand that.
I mean, Ray Caruth didn't kill his pregnant girlfriend, but because he hired someone to, he's in jail for life.
Sure.
So that doesn't make him innocent.
I bet he kicks ass on the football team there in prison.
Ray Caruth?
I bet he goes off.
Ray Caruth had a buddy of his pull up alongside his pregnant girlfriend. Another buddy block her in, and they fired away on her. He didn't pull the trigger. He wasn't even really there. I think he was a couple of blocks away when it happened.
It was me.
And he'll be sitting in jail the rest of his life when he could have been still playing for the Carolina Panthers, Terry.
He was good.
Mm-hmm. He almost single-handedly beat the University of Washington in the Holiday Bowl of 1997. That's right. I have that good a memory.
Is it 97?
January 1997. Or actually, I think it was December 30th, 1996. When, who was the dude who was the UW running back that played for the Bengals and was really good for a while in the NFL?
Corey Dillon.
Corey Dillon was trying to do his job and make the Huskies win that game single-handedly, but Ray Caruth and Colorado came storming back, and Colorado won that game by double digits. I know I had money on it.
Oh,
I had the Huskies +9.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And they were up early in the game. They were up by like 10 points.
Oh, yeah. No,
And then Ray Caruth catches some. He lays out. He catches a little guy. He's catching a long bomb where he's stretching out and diving and making unbelievable circus catches.
He was good.
He had potential unlimited, drafted like in the first or second round of the NFL draft, and then, well, he had to knock up his girlfriend and didn't really want to stick around for making the payments, so decided to have his friends off her and probably regrets that decision as he sits in prison right now.
I would say probably, yeah.
Or maybe he feels like it was worth it. I don't know. I would probably think that's not the case. As he rots away.
Didn't the baby survive?
I don't remember.
I think
something
they.
like that, yeah.
Yeah, they.
The mom died, but the baby
Yeah,
survived?
Something like that.
They rushed her to the emergency room, gave her a C-section or whatever, and then she died.
I remember they rushed to the emergency room, and she said that she knew it was him.
Right.
Uh-huh. All right. So they found the gun.
Yeah, they found the gun. So I mean, sure,
Any
they'll
more
find.
uplifting stories today?
Yeah, so, actually, yes, I do. This might be kind of
Yes.
interesting for you guys.
All right. Is it a happy story?
It is.
Okay, good. We
Has
need a
to
little
do with
happy
breast
story.
implants.
Breast implants.
Yes.
Mine are in. I'm ready to hit the slab and be ready for the weekend, or what?
Sure, maybe. But Mary
Oh.
Kate and Ashley Olsen apparently are considering getting breast augmentation. However, they are kind of having an argument as to how big to go. Because
What are they about? 22 now? 23? Somewhere in that range?
Sounds right.
Yeah.
And they're feeling like they need breast implants
Yeah.
after all these years of the heights and most lofty success kind of stories that any person could really have up till age 22, 23?
Yeah.
So
now they're considering the old breast implant.
I need to shake up my life a little bit. Pretty much. You know, being a billionaire gets a little mundane, a little boring from day to day.
What can I do that I haven't ever done? Oh.
They've never had breast implants.
No.
All right.
Pretty, pretty small. But Ashley Ashley wants to get pretty big ones. Mary-Kate kind of likes how she is.
Okay,
and
so why
that's
can't
why
Ashley get big ones
Well,
and Mary-Kate
because
get medium-sized ones?
the reason being is because they don't want it to look, well, Mary-Kate says she doesn't want it to look so obvious.
If Mary-Kate gets small ones, but Ashley gets really big
Yeah,
ones,
we
then
kinda
it
know
stands
that-
out that they both did something.
Right.
And, hey, you don't look like identical twins anymore because she's got double Ds and you have pretty small Cs over here.
Yeah.
So. Identical twins stay just perfectly in line their whole life through.
Yeah, can someone tell them they can do their own thing, please?
Well, they
but,
do.
But even if they
to some
don't do
extent.
their own thing as far as cosmetically, let's say you have two identical twins
Right.
that now are advancing through their 20s. You can't have, even though they look perfectly identical except for the little mole, they can't have two girls who are identical twins. One breasts all of a sudden get bigger than the others without any cosmetic enhancement?
I would imagine not.
No.
I would imagine it's the same since they are
Stays
identical.
So if one has...
That would kind of suck for the small chest.
One's a 42C, the
Oh,
other will
man.
absolutely definitely be a 42C her whole life through.
Very close, I would imagine.
And if the one that was a 42C all of a sudden becomes a 44C, then the other is definitely going to be a 44C.
I think they would, well, depending on who, if somebody had
one
an
could
eating
gain
problem.
weight.
Yeah, right,
Sure.
right.
Sure.
So why can't they get different sizes and
Well,
have
it's
all the
just-
world not question whether they got breast implants?
Finally, they get to be individuals.
Well, but, you know,
I
they
can't tell them apart to this day.
they are really, really close. And for whatever reason, they seem to do, you know, like to be pretty much the same. Whatever.
It's the same logic as calling each other to see what they're wearing to make sure they
Right,
dress identically.
right. I mean, granted, they do have some different looks. You know, one may have darker hair than the other one,
Right.
whatever. But,
But
they don't have a tendency to go too far.
They still feel that unbelievable bond. And
Right.
one day at around 21 and a half years old, they looked at each other and said, "Are you thinking what I'm thinking?" Boobies! And they're going to
Right.
make that happen soon.
Well, Ashley feels it. Larger breasts would make clothes look better on her.
If clothes aren't looking good on them, and they are like the real just picture of what fashion is supposed to be. I mean, they've made most of their money not from Full House little royalties. They've made all their money on their clothing line, right?
Well, and their little movies and their their whole franchise.
We're responsible for influencing an entire generation as far as their clothing, but clothes don't look good on us right now. So we're going to get boobs. Something doesn't sound right about that.
That's sending a message, huh?
That doesn't sound
Tell
right.
you what little Ashley said. She just wants it to be a little bit more natural.
This
and
could all just be a rumor, you know.
It could be.
Just like Elizabeth Hasselbeck getting death threats was a rumor. No one's agitated with her at all, Terry. I mean, it's not just the public. Didn't like a whole TV show once do like basically a death threat on Elizabeth Hasselbeck? Didn't Law and Order have a woman who was like savagely beaten on a show episode about 4 years ago during the last presidential election?
Really?
And the name of the character was like, Elizabeth Hasselbuck?
Come on.
Don't you remember that story?
No.
Come on, I didn't dream all this.
Law and Order?
Yes, Elizabeth Hasselbeck was outraged that Law and Order.
Hasselbuck?
Yes,
Oh,
Law,
thanks for
I don't know
changing
if
it.
that's the exact name, but it was
Right.
something very, very close to
Oh,
Elizabeth
wow.
Hasselbeck. God, don't you guys have any kind of memory whatsoever? Do I dream this and this stuff really doesn't happen?
Yes.
Did the University of
Possibility.
Washington not play Colorado in the
They
Holiday
did
Bowl in
not,
1997?
no. Never been to the Holiday Bowl.
They shouldn't have been. Now that we dream of it. Anyway, it was about 4 years ago. The liberal media
4 years
people,
ago. Holy
yes,
crap, don't even remember that far back. Malted hops and bong resin in my head.
they were getting annoyed at Elizabeth Hasselbeck
yeah.
with her whiny little staunch Republican ways. So they made a storyline about a character on the show who looked a lot like Elizabeth Hasselbeck and had a name that was just about identical to her name, whether it was Elizabeth Hasselbuck or Elizabeth Hasselbick, whatever the
I would
case
love
may
to find
be.
out.
They had her murdered.
Oh, boy.
And she was outraged and made like this announcement on I don't know if it was The View, but just a press release that she was very disappointed in the decisions made by the producers,
It sounds familiar, this story.
Yes.
Very, very familiar.
So death threats on Elizabeth Hasselbeck have been coming from all angles. What do you got for me, Pasty? You got verification for me? I don't dream this stuff up. The View co-host Elizabeth Hasselbeck is fuming mad over an episode of Law & Order, Special Victims Unit.
Oh, my favorite,
Oh,
SVU.
SVU
I drive
is.
one of those.
In which a character whose name is very close to her own, was raped and killed.
Oh, man. Does it give the character's name, please?
Last week, Law & Order SVU had an episode where a 30-year-old woman in New York City is raped twice.
Oh, wow.
Not just once was good enough for the producers and the story writers of SVU.
True.
They had to rape her twice.
That really sends a message.
I guess so.
Oh, here it is. And the name of the character on this particular episode was Elizabeth Hasselbeck.
Come on.
Hasselbeck. Really?
Elizabeth Hasselbeck has come out and said, I find this very disturbing. She didn't see the episode, but after hearing about it from a friend, she called the SVU executive producer, whom she declined to name. The co-host Rosie O'Donnell chimed in. You can Google it at home. So this couldn't have been that long ago, actually. Maybe it wasn't 4 years ago. It was more like 2 years ago if Rosie was still on the show.
She would name the executive producer. Just watch the credits. You can figure it out, kids.
What was the date of this story that you printed up for me, Pasty? October what?
6.
October 2006, so exactly about 2 years ago. And you guys are like, what?
Yeah,
Well,
it sounds familiar
We
now.
talked about it on the air.
About so many things.
Karma remembers that episode, right, Karma?
Yes, I do.
And was it pretty gruesome or what?
It was, but it was even bigger than that. She was watching it at home that night, and she called the producer at his house.
Well, the story that I'm reading says that she found out from a friend. She wasn't watching the show. She, but they always say that. They never want to give credit to the people that are actually bashing.
Right.
Oh, I don't watch that. Like people who hate us. I don't listen to your show, but I hear what you're talking about.
Right.
I know that she called the producer that night at his house and demanded that he go on the next week and apologize.
Did he?
Yeah, it says that here. No, according to Elizabeth Hasselbeck, the producer then said, goodbye, lady, and hung up on her.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Now, if this was Barbara Walters, I'll talk to you.
Hasselbeck said the incident made her feel like she never wanted to sit next to an SVU cast member again. I think those are good actors and good people, but I can't sit next to them without feeling as though I've been disrespected and just put it plain, genuine risk.
Isn't that show kind of notorious for ripping off headlines?
Yes.
But that's a little too much. That's a little close to the name.
Elizabeth Hasselbeck, who was a 30-year-old woman on the show, and Elizabeth Hasselbeck at the time was 29.
Oh,
boy. That's probably what pissed her off the most, was the 1 year more. I'm not 30 yet.
But Elizabeth Hasselbeck, as far as the character on the show, she had a job as a talk show host with co-host named Rosie O'Donnell and Barbara Halters, and, never mind. Anyway, so it really wasn't a dead-on comparison.
No, but...
Yeah. Karma, thank you so much for helping us.
Where are you going?
You're welcome. Bye.
All right, take care. So this is nothing new for Elizabeth Hasselbeck. This is child's play. A couple of death threats. She's been raped twice on TV.
Wow.
And then taken out of her misery, put to death.
Yep.
So, yeah, she's paid a little bit of a price for her. And it is a whiny type, staunch Republican way that she has. She's got this little whiny, mousy voice that if you're not agreeing with what she's saying, it could really rub you the wrong way. And believe me, I have not agreed with a lot of things she has said.
Very.
I used to actually watch 5 minutes here and there of that show. I didn't even know it was still on the air, to be honest. The Whoopi days are just not making it. The Rosie O'Donnell days were much more exciting. And going back to the time when I used to catch a couple of clips here and there, yeah, it used to certainly be very just irritating listening to her talk about, oh, George Bush makes me feel safe. Like, shut your ass. And then I made the call. All right, Law and Order, do what you got to do. So, just getting a couple of death threats?
A couple, yeah,
Is that a big
supposedly.
deal?
Well, like you said, tensions are pretty high.
We'll all be friends again once this election is over, right?
Yes.
Oh, no. I think if Obama doesn't win, there could be riots in the streets, Terry. I could lead the charge.
Could you?
If he does win, I think there'll be riots in the streets, too. Like, he can't win.
Yeah, there could be riots in the streets either ways.
Let's just call it. Let's just have riots.
This country's pretty divided right now.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, all fences will be mended. Everything's going to be fine.
Let's get one big world hug.
We need one big group hug. We did the, what was that? Hands across America.
Yes.
Yeah, how'd you know what I was
thinking?
I have my reasons.
Wow.
There's a reason that I knew you were thinking of that.
We did the hands across America. Mm-hmm. Now let's do the hug across the world.
I think so.
Yes.
Good idea.
So we can all make nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it can happen. What time is that going to happen? Yeah, I can't be there. Okay. Got a massage.
The T-Man Show.